Hello, everybody, and welcome to Marquee Gaming this evening, as we are here for our 45th session of Mystical Mishaps. And, yeah, we've been going, and we're getting into it now, and, we'll see how things go today. I honestly have no clue. I've tried to get a clue on what might be happening, and I didn't get anything. And, yeah. That's where we're at.
Mark's
so we'll see.
You guys are chaotic. Every time Mark's like, you guys are chaotic, I never know what you're going to do. I'm going to be like, you made a chaotic world, Marky.
I did.
So
yep.
that's on you.
Literally can just roll one die and it can change the entire trajectory of the game from that point forward. So yeah, we'll see what happens. You never know what you're going to get. So let's find out though. So we're going to player introductions. Started off with Rachel. So take it away, Rach.
Hello, I am Rachel, also known as Pip. You can find me on Instagram at Pip400Art. And I also stream here on Twitch Mondays, 3:30 CST. Yeah, I'm definitely planning on streaming tomorrow, so come hang out with me. It'll be fun. I'm probably working on NPC art or finishing up Desert Husband is kind of my thought, unless something else pops up instead that I want to work on. But so you can come hang out with me. We can talk. It'll be good. In this game, I play Eleonora. She is an ASMR. I almost said sorcerer because I read that in the chat a second ago. She's not a sorcerer. She's a warlock. And level 5. Just angry, and it's effective, and I like playing her. So it's fun for me. The end.
Awesome. So with that, we'll send it over to our second player, which is Kelly.
I'm Kelly. I play Winnie, the Kitharak monk, level 5 as well. What if I was like level 2? What if I just?
I mean, if you want to go back in levels, let me know. I will set you up.
No. I loved being useless. No. And let's see. She's not angry actually at all. She's kind of just very nervous, and that kind of works for her. Well, she has a different state, but who knows? Maybe Winnie will go through her angry phase. Who knows? We'll find out. But teenage rebellion, I don't know.
I want it to be something like really obscure, like someone takes her candy or something, like not even really that big of a deal, but that's like what triggers the rage.
Maybe I'll blow up on my parents and just be like in the other where I didn't talk to them. Maybe I'll try I'll try different universes, see which method works. Like, conflict resolution or just rebellion. We'll find out.
There we go.
Just be like, I brought them tea, but I did not bring them a napkin so they could wipe their mouth if they spilled or anything. I showed them.
Cold, it's lukewarm. Oops, I guess it's not as hot as you want it. Somehow I'm like getting back.
I totally see that. And then like that night, she's like, Eleanor, I feel so guilty.
I'm terrible. I did a terrible thing.
Because we must stop her. We need to put her down.
All right, we are going to move on to our third player, which is Ashley.
Hello, I'm Ashley. I make art too. I'm gonna have some new projects dropping, I think, on Instagram in the next couple weeks, so stay tuned for that. Some fun things going on behind the scenes. I play Euphemia. She's a human druid, level 5, and she's so sad still. She's so sad. She had a really hard couple days. Yesterday was not good. I don't know if it's gonna be better for her or not, but at least we got some sleep. So we're going to take that win while we have it, for sure. I'm excited to see what happens after that.
Yeah, yesterday was a bad day. So we'll see how today goes. Starting off on a better note, though.
And keep thinking, like, wait, what'd you guys do yesterday? What did we? But I was like, wait, did I miss? I gotcha.
But our last player tonight, we have Mike.
Hi. I'm Mike, also known as Bardic Dice on all the socials. Yeah, I also stream D&D here on the Twitchers and the YouTubers and, all the different places. I'm just gonna say Twitch because I don't know, that just sounds bad for some reason. Anyways, but yeah, maybe I should just go back on hiatus. But we just came back off hiatus, streaming again. And pretty exciting. We have 2 streams going on called The Netherdeep, which is live. We just finished our 3rd episode. And our fourth one will be this week on Thursday, 7:30 CST. So it's super exciting. If you want to go to YouTube and catch up on any of the recaps or stuff there. We're like 1 subscriber away from 100, so that was kind of crazy. That was pretty cool. And then we're also just got done filming session 1 of our upcoming Fates United spiritual successor called Fates Apart. Already, poetry and full circleness has happened. We've already hit the theme of Fates United, Fates Apart in the first episode. So I'm just super excited to show you guys when that one's out. It's going to hopefully drop April 4th. We're going to try and see if we can get a trailer out on GaryCon weekend as well. So that's going to be exciting. So yeah, if you want to go catch that. But today I play Davril. He is a wizard wannabe, but started off artificer. So level 5, 4 artificer, 1 wizard, clamoring to gain power to stop those from getting hurt. But now being plagued with nightmares on his failure to do so. So he's here for his friends, and excited to see what kind of more tragedy and bittersweetness happens today.
Awesome. So go give Bardic Dice a follow if you have not already, and check out his upcoming games. And you have a game this Thursday too, right? So
Yep.
Streaming this Thursday. You can check out his channel. And yeah, go give him some support and love. We do share a Discord with Bardic Dice that you can join. And it's called The Tavern. And there's a bunch of awesome people in it. And people post things they're doing, fun projects, a lot of creative things, nerdy things. It's great. So I recommend going and joining there and being a part of that community. And also, during this session, you can head over to the Mystical Mishaps channel and post gifts during this session of weird and wacky things going on. Some that are very out of context, and it's really funny to kind of look back and see them. And there's some people who just like can't watch the session, so they look at the gifts later and they're like, what happened? So just go be nuts in the Mystical Mishaps channel with the gifts, and we'll see if you can break one of the players or myself. I'm Mark, I'm the Dungeon Master, and ready to get into tonight's session. We have our old sessions. If you ever want to catch up on anything, go back, listen to them on YouTube and podcast, and you can check those out. If you are interested in doing that, try not to look at my Discord right now.
Look at it.
I see it, but
You asked me to break a player, sorry. I just had to try and go for it.
You did it. Yeah, good job. But you can head over to our YouTube if you want to, or podcasts, Apple, Spotify, whatever you prefer. You can check out old sessions there. And yeah, that's about it. So we're gonna go ahead and get into our intro so we can get into today's session, and I can have somebody do what the gifts just did to me to my players. So let's find out what's gonna happen. All right, everybody, we are back and ready to begin our session this evening. As already people were waiting and ready to go with the advantage dice. We have actually 3 different people who did it. That hardly ever happens that we get a split like that.
He didn't do it at all.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at that teamwork.
Look at that. So
That's
all
so
of
fun.
you are starting off the session with your advantage die. So use it wisely.
Everybody.
And
I take a picture, never mind.
So, quick recap from last week. The terrible day that the players just went through. They were in a graveyard visiting Euphemia's sister's grave, and they found mushrooms that emitted spores there that they found to be some sort of toxic spores, and it ended up resulting in Eleonora, Winnie, and Euphemia all going into a frightened frenzy and either fleeing or attacking or a combination of the both. And it was up to Dav and Edison to sort of wrangle them together and try and help them through their situation.
They did good, by the way.
It was a little scary there, but yeah, it worked out. It worked out.
It worked out. Dav was an MVP.
Eleonora got shot, and Dav was definitely running all over the place. But they did eventually get everyone back together, everyone subdued or breaking the control the spores had over them. And they were able to gather and investigate the grave. Edison went down into it and started looking through it and came back and reported that he only saw scraps of clothing, but no bones or anything like that. No body, nothing like that. Just mushrooms and scraps of clothing. So they ended up heading back to Euphemia's father's house, which is now vacant, and they relaxed to recover after this really rough day, as everybody except for I think Winnie had a level of exhaustion. Eleonora still was at a -1 for being brought back from the dead. It was definitely a rough day. They got arrested earlier. It's the whole thing. So yeah, they rested, looking to recover, wash up, all that stuff, and they are heading into a new day now, as I think Eleanor was on watch. But Euphemia, you rise up early that morning. Anything particular you want to do?
Sorry, my music on Foundry just got so loud. I'm just
Oh, really?
it scared me. Yeah, hold on.
So
yeah, I don't, those volume controls are funky. I'm just gonna
I don't know why it does that.
either.
Good music. Though.
I would like to, actually waking up a little more rested, etc. I would like to quietly, if I can kind of go in the kitchen and see if my dad has any coffee and tea and any little bits of food around, potentially, to make things and set them out for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, as you look around, there definitely is some, like, old tea and coffee that you can gather, and some non-perishable foods that are still there.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll do my best to, like, make a nice little spread, I think, and start brewing some coffee and things. And I actually will pop out to the garden, too. And while I'm out there, I would like to cast Goodberry outside, not in the house.
Okay. Let me roll for mishap potential.
That's why I went outside.
No mishap. I think I had other things I had to redeem too. Let me look and make sure I'm up to date. I do. We have a chat blessing I gotta do. Which goes to me! Thanks, guys.
Wow.
Starting off strong.
I appreciate that. A lower mishap level. We'll do that quick. Alright. Suggestions. Perfect.
Okay. I would also like to pick a couple flowers, and I'll just come back inside and try and make the table look as nice as I can. I'll move those boxes that were on the table, like, off to the side, and Like, if he doesn't have enough cups, I'll pull some, like, jars or whatever else I can find and put the flowers out and put 8 of the 10 good berries out on a little plate. I will keep the other 2.
Okay.
Bon appetit!
I need a little berry and like a big plate.
I know. I'm imagining just like this little handful on a plate.
We'll cut it with a knife and fork. Like,
I mean, however fancy you want to get with it is fine. I think, yeah, I think I'll just do the best I can to make it look nice. And I will bring. Is Eleanor in the same room? Are you kind of? We're all kind of in the same room, right?
Yeah, there's the one room that was a little separate, but everything else is kind of all together. Besides that.
Okay.
I probably would have tried to write in my book away from Edison, but I did that during my watch, so it just depends on when she's up doing this, if I would be back out there or not.
So
maybe back out.
Yeah.
Or heading back out.
I think then I will just, I'm just gonna take those family photos that have been kind of around and go wait outside for everybody to wake up.
I mean, as you were kind of moving boxes and stuff, it's small enough of a space that there's definitely people who started stirring and waking up from that. So.
Cool. All right.
Eventually, everyone would wake up.
Yeah.
But
I'll just kind of wait for everybody then.
Edison will wake up and comment, this looks nice, thank you.
Oh, sure. Yeah, but help yourself.
So is it just the goodberry or is it also other food that you found?
There's like There's like some I don't know what, like dried crackers or something, whatever I could find.
Yeah.
Cool.
Not nice food. That's
Very
why
simple.
she put the good berries out too. Like,
yeah, like for nutrition's sake.
We need to eat, but also there's not that much food here.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Here you go, Mike. Here's some outside food. This looks exquisite.
This is lovely, Euphemia. Thank you.
Sure.
Did everybody sleep okay?
Thankfully.
yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
Good start.
It's probably the first time since I died that I feel back to myself, so also bonus.
Glad to hear that.
Did you have a nightmare, Edison?
I did not.
Euphemia.
Is he maybe being honest? Sorry.
Sure, give me that vibe check right away. Let's go. Start off strong.
Gotta do what I gotta do.
Him.
Gotta see if he's lying to be nice to us. That would be a 14. Nothing crazy.
Best you can tell, yes, on the truth.
I figured. Just wanted to see. Sorry, go ahead. Continue.
Euphemia, have we or have you discovered, is it only when you have a nightmare that others have one? Like, is it more of a cause and effect?
I don't know. I think
There has been a time that she did not have a nightmare, but you guys
yeah, I
did.
was just gonna say that. Yes, thank you. I was gonna say, I think there has been. I remember one time that I was fine and it seemed like you all had, or at least most of you. So
When was that
don't-
again? Do you remember?
I think it was in my house, wasn't it? Or no?
It was a while ago. It was like
Thought
in
it
the
was
other
Heaven's
place.
Reach, but I'm not sure.
Was it the first? Was it the library though? I think it might have been after the library.
I think it was
And I
when
think I was the only one
you
who
were.
need to save.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
It was quite a while ago. I mean, maybe in Heaven's Reach.
Good to know.
Do we not? I don't know. Do we notice it? I mean, I haven't had that many, but do you guys notice it being worse in one plane versus the other? I guess, or is it about the same?
Oh, that's an interesting question.
Well, the last couple we've had have been here, and it's been quite bad.
Yes, the bad ones have been here. Worse ones.
But it's been more recent than necessarily location based so far.
Right. We weren't even back in the other place very long before we came back here again.
That is a good observation, though.
We need
One
to
of the
get just rid of it.
one of the worst nights I had was after I spoke with Chad glances over other Edison the first time.
Sorry.
I know, it's just like weird. It's just like I don't know how to. The other
Or
guy.
do we think?
It's the same one?
Do
I
we
don't
think
know.
maybe it was like because? Okay. Good.
No, Dav under his breath was like, "Wouldn't this be the other one?" Never mind.
Well, this Edison, it's other Edison. That's what she's equating it to.
That's fair.
So, do we notice any sort of like? Is it like reactionary? Where like because we met Edison and it's like they didn't seem to like that and. Like, is it reactionary, do we think? Like, do we do anything this time that made them...
It wasn't just that we met Edison. The night... Well, actually, did we have a nightmare after? Because I think the bad nightmare started after there was a commitment to go after them.
Mm-hmm.
It was the night after.
So...
The night following.
So this point, it's happened so much that we start developing a pattern.
Sorry, what?
No, you're good. I just said it happened enough where it might be a pattern, so we can start maybe seeing patterns, but...
And Edison, you said you started your nightmares that same day as well, that commitment.
Correct.
How many have you had?
I don't know, a few.
It's not necessarily on the same nights.
Yeah, I was just about to ask, would we be able to compare them to the same time frames? Do you remember certain days or events that would remember how far back?
I mean, I wasn't even sure if this was connected to anything. It could be just random. I don't know specific dates. I can approximate things.
Over the past couple weeks, then, right?
Since I met you, yeah.
You could start notating them, especially the more vivid ones. If we can find a pattern, it would help link everything.
Like write down the conditions of when or where, how it happened. Or even maybe what we... I mean, I think the theme of the dreams always seems to be fear, right? The bad things that we don't want to happen.
And take some notes.
I think that would be helpful.
The fact that that is occurring when we're not even here is concerning to me.
Agreed. But we can also ask other Edison. Are they both feeling it at the same time? Are they separate? Is it different? It's going to answer a lot of our illusion questions there, or at least help unwrap that onion.
Edison, you had mentioned in Lakeside that you would do some research. Have you found anything on curses or hags or...
I mean, I've looked into some things, but most curses, you need to know what type of curse it is to even be able to begin to undo it. There are
Type.
simple curses, and there are much more complex ones. So the more we're able to
Can you
figure out,
think-
the more we can figure out what needs to be done.
Can you think of an example of like a complex curse? I don't understand the difference practically.
Well, I believe you have a spell that can remove many curses.
Yes.
It didn't work on this.
These curses have a deeper hold and require other means to break through it.
So you mean a simple curse, like it can be removed by more typical means, and a complex curse would require a complex solution.
The ball
Depending
on the way
on
to
how
Northport
complex they are. Yes.
Right.
was simpler.
I guess it would depend. Do you know if mishaps are ever, I guess they could be interacted as curses, but would remove curse always work on a normal mishap?
What do you mean?
I mean, this started well before the shutter.
No, sorry, it's just kind of a separate question, but like, you know,
Oh.
kind of like some squares could be rectangles, rectangles could be squares, that kind of thing. Like, I know a mishap can be a curse, but like, if I just turn into a box, can you just like undo it with a remove curse, or is it like?
I mean, we could certainly try
separate?
next time you turn into a box. Yeah, but-
Sorry, I just kind of PTSD there. My bad. I'll put that back in my. Don't think about it right now. Thoughts.
Were
Now I'm thinking about a box of thoughts. Dang it.
was the foster case the same sort of conditions as all the others, or did anything stand out to you that was maybe different?
The Fosters?
know what- Yeah, other than that it happened, I don't know anything about that one.
That was after digging through some of the records after the Watts situation, finding yours, and then later finding the Foster one due to similarities that are between all three of them. Yes.
Was it another little girl
Yes.
around the same age?
Yes.
No survivors to speak of after it happened.
Let me double check. I know it's on that. Don't believe so.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
He's we talked too much.
he didn't want to know.
Basically,
Yeah, weird.
Hi.
Hi. Sorry.
the main difference between the Foster case and the others was it was the father, Gregory, who killed his wife and daughter and ended up dying in prison, but he claimed that wasn't his daughter.
It wasn't real. Just guessing. Is that what he said?
No, he it sounded like he was saying that he didn't believe that Avis was his daughter.
So. So he was maybe mentally not well either.
No, I mean, someone who snaps and kills his whole family is definitely not well.
So why do you think that it is related to this then? The conditions seem a bit different.
Well, a parent snapping and killing a young girl does seem similar to you, doesn't it?
If that is what happened.
I mean, this was many years ago. But this is what I have to go off of.
It's good to take note of, certainly. I just wasn't sure if there was anything specific that, aside from the death, that had you latch onto that.
It may be unrelated, but figured it was at least worth looking into.
Certainly.
But having now seen reports of the mushrooms being found, both in Rose Pond, above Avis's grave for a time, and now seeing the ones here with Maribel.
Yes.
Do you know if my mother has been tested for any kind of poison or infection or...
I believe she has received as much care as possible from those in Heaven's Reach. I'm not an expert in their field, though. But from what I have been told, she has received treatment in every way to try and help her.
We were in Heaven's Reach. I had intended to go see her at some point before all this happened. So I think that is worth following up on soon.
Another suggestion that Edison and I spoke of yesterday was checking the grave at Arrow Run, see if there are spores there. Mr. Edison kindly offered to take us to either location with his item if we finish our business here quickly. Just know that that is an option we can think about. I will say, before we entertain Arrow Run too long, I'm willing to investigate it, but I'm not sure. Well, first I'll ask this. Edison, do you think that word will spread quickly about my affiliation with death? Or how quickly do you think?
I do not know how gossipy people around here are, but you four are all quite notable. I'm sure somebody would talk.
I had hoped to keep my state of not being dead a secret for a bit. In Run, I am recognizable. The people that killed me are there still, likely. So if we go to Run, the secret will be out, and it might already be out, I don't know. And you will have to deal with the common hatred of myself. So that is just a warning. If we decide to do it, fine. I'm not against it. But you just have to know that going in.
Would that mean going sooner would be better? Less time for it to spread?
I suppose it will get out no matter what, won't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
And then perhaps. Are you willing to defend me from the people with your authority?
I would be surprised if someone was bold enough to attempt something on your life. Some sort of attempt on your life in my presence.
True.
But the Bronze Barons does have their own way of doing things. We are respected to a level, but they also like to do things their own way there.
Can't imagine why we wouldn't be able to get in and out low profile and just see what we needed. And
If we
not
did
cause a
quickly,
stir.
if we did
Why would
quickly,
it take-
it might be all right.
Why would it take longer than it needs to?
How often can you use teleporting? If we go, how long is it committed? Are we committed to be there before we can leave?
I should have at least one more charge today, potentially two.
Potentially two.
It refreshes in the morning. So I believe I will have 3, but there's always a chance that not all of them came back.
Mm.
I don't see why we wouldn't check that first, and then maybe go to Heaven's Reach and follow up there. The other thing I thought of was the sample we took. Is there someone at Watchlight that could look into it a little more? Maybe research any kind of properties that stand out?
I can hand those off if you would entrust me with them.
Just shrug and hand him the container that we had.
Okay. He'll take that and I put it on the table beside him.
I just wonder if knowing more about that could help at least either, I guess incriminate is the wrong word, confirm or deny my mom's involvement in this.
How so?
Well, if she was affected by something, then maybe we can actually help her. She's under the influence of something else.
Perhaps we can look into it.
Well, and today we have your old house. Is there anywhere else that we need to look here?
No.
Can I? Do you know anything about the taxidermy shop that is down the street?
Would I know anything about the taxidermy shop?
Who are you asking that to?
Just the group. If anyone knows anything about it.
That would
Like-
be only our Euphemia. So give me a intelligence check.
Okie dokie. If I. Oh, that's pretty good. Let's see.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Mike.
Hey. Sorry, guys.
17.
17.
He's back.
All right. So you would know that there is a older gnome woman who does have a taxidermy shop that she's had around for a while. It's just kind of run out of like a small place that she lives in. And yeah, she's just local taxidermist in town.
Oh, you mean that there's a little there's a gnome woman that runs that. It's kind of just her house. She's been there forever.
Could we maybe, or could I check it out before we leave? I just saw I don't know, there's a monster in there, and I don't know. Maybe she knows something about, I don't know, some of the, anything weird with monsters going on? I don't know.
I don't think it would be too much of
I'll be quick. Yeah.
trouble, I guess.
How much time do you all need?
Here today?
In general? As if this is going to be a full day thing, I may head back to Heaven's Reach.
Are you coming with us to look into Euphemia's house?
I can. I've been through it though before.
I can't, unless we can think of something else.
That was all I had on my list.
So as long as you're willing to
Okay.
wait 20 minutes or something after the house. Unless, can you think of anywhere else that is notable for you?
I think I've seen enough otherwise. I'm a little anxious to get this over with, to be honest.
So, are you going to need me to stick around, or would it be better I come back for you?
I don't think we'll take long, will we?
I think our only two things are going back to the house and letting Winifred pop into the taxidermy shop for a couple minutes. So as long as you're all right waiting, then hopefully we can get some ground and air run.
That is agreeable. I will go and see if they have anything I need to restock on, or I can meet you at the house if you would like.
At the main building.
No, the former home of Euphemia.
Oh, sorry, he said restock some? I'm confused now.
He might supplies. That's what it sounds like.
Oh, yes. If you can get your hands on any holy water you can think of, I think that will be very smart. We have one right now, but
Are you seeking for your own components?
backups in case we need to help Euphemia. Actually,
Well, I'm sure they would have somewhere for you to buy here.
so we'll see how hated we are. Perhaps you can be the one that checks the price, and I can give you the money if that's what we need to do.
That is what you need me to do.
All right, good plans. Sorry, that box really is distracting me. But what you guys came up with was great.
Glad we could come up with a
Yeah,
plan.
I was zoned out there. I really apologize, but I'm back in it. We're on it. Taxidermy house.
Right. And then,
We're going somewhere.
all right, we're going to our run, Davro. Be prepared to
Of course, that's what I was going to say. Yeah.
watch people be awful.
I missed a
Great.
blessing forever ago. Let me get that. Ashley!
Yay!
Good thing that I have my
All right.
notification.
Well,
Stay there.
yeah.
All right, let's do this.
All right. So are you giving him money to go look for holy water?
How much money do we have?
How much do you think holy water goes for, Eleanor?
Holy water normally goes for 25. We have about 160.
Here's 20.
combined. Oh, right. Are you sure you want to? You
Yep.
could just do.
I found it.
Yep. All right.
Plus, don't need a mishap happening for me to empty my pockets or anything.
All right. Yeah, I'll give Edison 25 holy water.
The one?
Yep, just one for now.
Right. So he'll take that and
Thank
head
you.
out into the morning.
On the way out, I think Dav's just kind of eyeing Euphemia, just kind of corner of the eye, but just does she see obviously it's not gonna be like fine, but is she any more balanced than yesterday?
She's a lot more subdued, I would say.
Okay. He's just gonna be monitoring her as we like go through the house, and
Yeah.
seems to be fidgeting.
I
with
mean,
something in
talking
his
about the
pocket.
house, she's a little bit more fidgety about that, but
Yeah.
pretty understandable,
Cool.
I would say.
All right. So, Edison heads off. You are all going to where first?
Let's just rip the band-aid. Let's go to this taxidermy place first.
I'd
A
say.
Band-Aid. I'm
Oh no,
excited.
not because
Why?
of that, Winifred. More just the general trepidation towards us will be interesting.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, what she said.
What is your purpose in you just want to see what she knows?
I don't know. Just seemed like a shop that stood out in this whole place, and some of the monsters in there. I just want to kind of look at them. She might know something too. I don't know.
Sure.
All right. So, you can find it pretty easily. You know where it is, Winnie. So you can lead everyone straight to it.
I would say I'm
is
kind
aware
of
it.
hanging back. Yeah, I'm just kind of hanging back.
Okay.
She doesn't look super interested.
How dare you not look interested in our shopping trip
I know.
after like one of the worst days of your life?
Going
Out
through
of
a
character
horrible
me is
event.
so interested. She could care less right now. She's like, she can't even think about anything else right now.
Dav gives a look at Eleonora, and Eleonora, you know him well enough that it's like he makes it seem like he's being nice and noble to just stick with Euphemia and watch her, but like something about like this taxidermy thing is just like freaking him out, and he just doesn't want to go in.
Yeah.
But he's like,
in the very narrow, yes, I'll go in.
good luck.
I love that. That's so funny.
All right.
So I guess just me and Winnie go in.
Okay.
All right. So you head inside, and again, it's like a simple building. There's not even a like sign for a name for it or anything. It's just like the taxidermy shop, probably what people call it. But a little bell rings as you enter in, and you hear some slow footsteps coming closer to you, creaking on the floorboards, as a older gnome woman, probably not standing much more than like 3 feet-ish or so, definitely not super tall, sort of walks up, and she sees, so it's just you two, Eleanor and Woody.
Mm-hmm.
So she's just, hello, welcome, how may I help you?
Hi. Is it okay if we just look around? You have such an interesting shop here.
Of course, please look at my work. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Yes. So first, I think I'll just before I talk to her, I just want to look around. Is there anything like that stands out here? Any like creatures that seem out of the ordinary? I'm mostly just, I just want to look around.
I mean, definitely the one in the window that you saw, the manticore.
That's right.
You do notice that one, but the rest are fairly common creatures, like deer and other small animals that have been stuffed, or heads mounted on the wall, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
There's a
anything...
bear that you see, like
a bear.
A bear.
Do they all
like
seem kind of? Oh, do they all seem kind of old, or does any of them seem more like, I don't know, like? Do they seem like kind of dusty and like old or gross, or does it seem pretty like in good condition?
As you go around, you can give me an investigation roll.
Oh, it's not at all. Dirty 20.
Okay.
Oh no, just kidding. Just 19. Just 19.
Okay. I mean, some of them probably been here for a while. It's a little hard to tell on everything, but there's definitely varying degrees of like wear and tear you see on some of them.
Okay. So once we, kind of look around a little bit, I will like go up to the lady and be like, excuse me, I do actually have a question if you have time.
Of course. What can I do for you?
That manticore in the window is really cool. Where did you get it from?
Ah, yes. My beloved manticore. It is a creature that was brought to me years ago, and of course I had to go ahead and put that on display once I had it. If only I had a better one, though. There's unfortunately many spines missing, and some damage to it as well.
Oh, what kind of? Where did you? I mean, do you know the person who stuffed it or killed it? Do you know?
Oh, it was just a hunter that years ago.
Awesome. It's really cool. Do you know where manticore? I think manticores are kind of cool. Do you know where he got it from? Like, I don't know where they really live.
I believe he found it up in the mountains.
Wow. Very cool.
Was this before the shutdown?
can I ask what your
Very cool.
interest in manticores would be?
I just really like monsters. I draw them, and I think I don't think I've ever seen a stuffed manticore before, so it was just exciting. I just wanted to come in and ask about it.
Oh,
Mhm.
of course.
Yeah.
Just drawing them?
Any other really cool? Yeah, not just manticores, lots of different monsters, but
He's a lovely artist.
but any other cool creatures that have come through here that are unique, and anything you've seen? What's the coolest one you've seen?
Well, many are quite difficult to come by. This is definitely my prized possession at this point. Of course, I'd love to expand it more if I ever was able to. That hunter is gone, and I sadly don't think many people go and seek out monsters anymore. So,
Well, actually, we happen to like hunting monsters sometimes. So if we ever find anything really cool,
Oh,
I'll be sure
really?
to bring it to you.
that is such a wonderful news!
Yeah, I'll be sure to bring you something really cool. Maybe even a new manticore if we find one. That would be cool.
I would pay you most definitely for a pristine body of a manticore. Most definitely.
Okay. Awesome. Well,
There's
good thing I stopped
also
in here.
a creature known as a bullet. If you ever found that, I would most definitely love to find one of those as well.
What does that look like? What is it?
Oh, it is this large creature that buries underground and just springs out and attacks people.
Oh.
Oh. Do you know where it lives typically, or where they're found?
Mountains, I believe, and it goes underground. So maybe within the mountains as well. I would most certainly pay for a bullet as well, if you were able to acquire one of those. But it is important that the corpse is not in too damaged condition. That is very important. Otherwise, it's difficult to work with.
That makes sense. Do you know what the bullet looks like? Okay, it is underground, but is it fuzzy? Is it
Oh
big
no,
big
this
teeth?
is
What do you know anything about it?
very much so. Its skin is almost like stone, and it
Oh.
burrows in with its sharp claws and digs through the ground. Head almost like comes to a point to help it pierce the ground and dig through it quicker.
Okay. Well, I will be sure to bring anything back that I find for you, because I think that would be, I don't know, it makes me sad to see them go to waste. So that'd be cool to see them stuffed in the window.
Of course.
Eleanor's eyes just widened like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Yes, I
Doesn't
think.
say anything.
Oh, this is quite exciting. Yes, if you give me a manticore in pristine condition, 1,000 gold for pristine condition. And if you bring me a pristine bullet, 1,200 gold.
Wow. That would certainly be worth it, I think. Well, we'll definitely find one of those if we come across one, and if we do, I'll be sure to make sure it's pristine condition and that we bring it to you.
Wonderful.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate your time and for letting us look around your really cool shop.
Of course. Feel free to come back anytime.
Thanks.
Oh, what's
As we
your
walk
name?
out. Oh yeah.
Just so we know.
My name? It's Murty.
I don't think we got your name. What? I'm sorry?
Murty?
Murty. Very nice to meet you.
Pleasure. What is your names?
I'm Winnie.
Hello, Winnie.
Eleanor.
What? Eleanor?
Eleanor.
Pleasure.
Awesome. Well, we'll be back if we find anything, but thank you again.
Have a wonderful day.
You too. And on our way out, she'll pet some of the monsters on the way out, just like little, and then leave.
All right.
As we're like, once we're out the door and like away from her, I'll look at Eleanor and be like, that could help us with some of our money problems, right?
Certainly could.
Now we have to make sure. I don't know how to make something in pristine condition, but I assume would magic be taking it out with magic, maybe? Well, not burning, or
Well, it would have to depend on them. It'd have to be psychic or something like affects the mind. Anything else might.
Sure.
I'd wonder if we'd have to do some planning if we wanted to do it. But if we did, that is a lot.
That's a lot of money.
We could pay off Vari with that.
We could.
So.
Okay. Well.
Certainly something to consider.
Aren't you glad we stopped in now? I am.
Well, I was always I thought it might cheer you up a bit, so I'm glad we stopped in. You
It did.
already seem much more chipper.
I feel a little better. I think us not having horrible dreams helps too. So,
That certainly helped.
but okay. Let's tell the others. I want to see what they have to say. See
I
if they
will
know
leave that
anything
to
about. Okay, I'll scurry over to everyone and like, can I tell you guys the deal? And be like, she's offering 1,000 gold for a pristine manicure and 1,200 for a billet. A billet? Billet?
Billet.
Billet. Billet.
Billet.
Do we? Yeah, not like a bullet, but like a bullet.
creature
Oh,
underground.
Do guns exist in this world, Mark?
Yes, you
That is
had
pretty
Alice
solid.
just
Edison
shut.
shot me.
Yeah, we just
Vari pulled one
Just
on you.
him.
Dav's literally
What
just
time?
like, yeah, let's just go find Edison. Quick 1,200 then.
I don't know. It's like apparently like a rock monster looking thing, and it has claws and it burrows underground. Hey, wait. Oh no. Remember? Oh no, never mind. Didn't we see something that was burrowing underground, or was that just the mishap crack, just making the ground go? Because I thought before when we fought those sheep, it like there was something underground, or is that
No,
not the same thing?
the mishap creature came out from the crack.
Okay.
Is what happened.
I thought maybe it was like a
It did come from the ground, but
morphed out bullet.
Is there would like that post office or anything like that be nearby, Mark, while we were waiting?
Post office?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can find that nearby.
I would have popped over and mailed a letter, finally, to Electa, which I will send you later.
All right, sounds good.
So, I think if we wanted to, it seems like it would be a good way to make money at some point. Obviously, we're doing this right now, but if we wanted to come back,
If on our journey we kind of stumble across one, we could always
How will we get it
try
back
and make
here?
sure.
How will we transport it back here?
Do you guys have any magic to like preserve it or anything, or no?
I think there was a spell I was looking into that perhaps I could learn, but I would need money to do that.
Okay.
I could. I'm not sure if we have the means. I have a few psychic.
As you are all kind of pondering this, you look over and somebody has stacked 12 gold pieces just on a stone off to the side of the public square there, and they're just sitting there. Welcome in, Raider, sarcastic Nicole.
Hey.
Thank you so much for the raid.
Thank you.
Thanks for paying our bills.
Yes, thank
the
you.
characters
You
bill.
paid the party. So
You paid us. Is awesome.
And we're quite poor, so we're
so poor.
We owe a lot of people money, so
we're pretty in debt actually. If you want to add that to the party pot,
Yes, it is good.
Rachel, you can. Okay, cool.
Hey, look at that. Someone painted rocks. It's pretty crazy. His perception is like 5, so.
It's money.
What?
It's money.
On a rock? Like just stacked?
We find money all the time. It's a little strange. But
Maybe it's like part of the mishaps or something, like a permanent mishap.
wouldn't put anything.
What, you not
past it.
recognizing money? Is that the mishap?
You guys had money
Touche.
turn into other money, so maybe rocks can turn into money
That's true.
too.
That's very true.
That's true.
Winnie, I'm gonna let you have that win. Just know, in better circumstances, I'm coming back and getting a retort for that one.
What was it? That wasn't even anything. I just didn't recognize the coin. I wasn't even trying to be sassy.
Look, it was in my blind spot. It just looked like someone paint. Okay, anyways.
Fair.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, I know getting to Heaven's Reach is really important. Getting money is too. I mean,
Well, we're going to Overrun first.
sorry.
Is
Again,
it?
I have spaced down earlier.
Hold on.
I don't think we can wait on Arrow Run.
You're right. Yeah,
It's a matter of timing with Eleonora's news.
But
This isn't Arrow Run
We
back.
can
Never
come
mind.
back.
that is an
Overrun, yeah.
option potentially. If Edison is willing, perhaps he could take us back to Edgefort at some other point. I don't know.
Yeah. It's true.
I agree, though. We need money. Even if we are able to think, what I think we should do now is we need to think through what could be some ways to take down a monster without damaging it too much. Because our means now, there would not be much left.
Would I
Would
I have any knowledge of that, Mark? Like, would I ever have heard of ways people kill to like taxidermy or anything?
Nice.
Yeah, you just be careful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't go
'Cause,
in
like, yeah.
exploding things.
Because I think, like, I mean, at least from what I've seen or heard, I think that she can even like sew up like puncture wounds and stuff. But it's like she said, like missing bones and like teeth, and if it's burned or something like that would be bad. So even if we are really careful about stab wounds, we could try and get it in places that would be vital, but like wouldn't be too damaging to the carcass. I think too.
Maybe something like force damage. That's not really going to be like more of a concussive shot. Even thunder. It's not.
Oh, I thought you meant like
really-
push it down a cliff. I said that wouldn't. I don't think that would be good.
I mean, depends on how strong the armor is, but
That's true.
Euphemia, are you all right with this? Just killing something in nature for the sake of stuffing it as a trophy?
I don't know. We need to go take care of this other thing.
Okay. I just didn't want to offend you. That's all.
Anybody can give me a general nature check if you'd like at this point.
Please.
All of us or just one of us? Or...
Anybody who wants to.
15.
Oh, not me.
Okay.
9.
Fine.
Euphemia, you would have some awareness that typically manticores are evil aligned creatures for the most part.
That's what. Yeah. Okay.
Evil.
There's a value in protecting, population and stuff like that, but
Yes.
the logistics would need to be sorted first. That they're pretty dangerous.
She said they were in the mountains. I know Erewhon's by mountains. I guess if we see one on the foothills or I don't know, something, we could
Well, and
keep an eye out, I guess.
if we make it back to the other place, I would imagine we would want to come here again to double check things, wouldn't we? So
Yeah.
that's something to consider as well, because if she's willing to do it here, she might be willing to do it in the other place.
Oh. Like, oh, we just need to take the carcass back really fast and then go to the other place and get paid.
All right. So this is a good thing to keep in mind, though, and to come back after we at least finish Arrow Run.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good hunch, Winifred. You found us a potential job to make some money soon.
And maybe it's doing what we're already doing anyway. Like, honestly, we come up on a manicore, we're not going to, like, we could sneak around it, but, like, if it attacks us, we would kill it anyway, so.
It would certainly warrant some defense.
All right, well, shall we go? You ready?
I think we need to go.
All right.
If you.
Thanks. Just kind of head off in the direction of the house.
All right. So you start heading there. It's definitely a little further away from the center of town. It's a little off to the edge of the city. A little quieter section of the city. It gets very still and quiet as you start to approach there. It seems like most people don't come out this way. A lot of stuff kind of begins to look like it's been not cared for as much. The plant life looks more overgrown. The path looks dirtier. All that kind of stuff. It's definitely a little out of the way for people where you're at here.
Would we say that I probably haven't been back here since, like, before my dad moved, even? Or was it maybe the last time I was here?
Do you think you'd want to go back to it when you visit it?
I honestly doubt it. Yeah. So it's been like probably 10 years or more.
So,
10
yeah,
years
it's been
probably.
a while.
Yeah.
Dav on the way up, we'll just take a couple steps back. Take one of his vials out and kind of imbue it with a bit of a spark. And down it to, I'll just first level cast False Life on myself.
Okay.
Kind of wincing at the bitterness of it.
Let me look for mishaps. No mishap. Alright.
I would say as we get closer, I almost pick up. I would pick up my pace, almost like I'm just gonna do this before I lose my nerve. But I'm walking a little faster, a little more determined.
Alright. So, eventually a lot of the sites that you remember from your childhood start to become, like, places you've played around and things you remember from your childhood. And it's just different because of how still it is. It's almost like a photograph of those locations that just, like, the wind is blowing a little bit to make the trees and leaves move, but otherwise people aren't here. And you're just here with your 3 party members.
Would this feel basically like what I would expect after the shutter, just like with things shifting in nature, or is it other?
I mean, populations have gone down since the shutter,
Right.
for sure, so
Yep.
that may be a byproduct of that. It looks natural for the most part, of like the nature around this area.
Okay.
But there's probably some history of the area that has resulted in people avoiding it as well.
Okay, makes sense.
That. Let's switch over our music.
Oh boy.
Oh no!
Uh
I don't like that.
Why
It's
not?
gonna be scary. Can't
Why
hear ya.
don't
Uh-oh.
you like that, y'all?
The name of this.
I know.
Sorry.
This is
can't
my
see
song
it.
for you.
Oh,
This is the one I
You
always play
picked
for
it
your
just for
stuff.
you.
how special.
Yeah. So,
Started picking out theme songs. It's been really fun.
you kind of start going into this place and reliving those memories of, I mean, some good things and some really bad things.
Sure.
But
I honestly think I would be walking up ahead of everyone else unless someone's really trying to keep pace with me, just because I knew this might be difficult.
Keeping
So.
pace, but behind you.
Okay.
But just like a quiet shadow, just 15, 20 feet back.
Okay.
As you do approach it, you do see Edison outside. He just kind of has a key in his hand that he's just flipping and catching as he's leaning up next to the doorpost there.
So cool.
So casual.
So casual. What's his monologue saying now, Mark?
There I
Right.
stood as the three walked up towards me.
Yeah, roll if he drops it. That'd be so funny if he drops
Roll
it.
if he drops it.
He's trying to look so cool.
Natural 20 performance.
Let's see, his sleight of hand got a 26. So
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
he's fine.
He
I was
looks
thinking
extra
one, he'd be like, fumble, and we have to look for it in
It's
the
like a
ground.
trick
We'd lose
shot.
it.
Every single time.
You think it's the keys? It's really the lighter for the cigarette that he puts in and then pulls out more keys.
A novelty lighter.
You said there's like nobody around, like nobody is here, like people don't
Yeah.
come back here at all.
It wasn't really a
Okay.
neighborhood, right? It's kind of out a little bit.
There's people's houses who were nearby, but it seems like no one's really living out here at this point, or no one's home, no one's out and about.
And like animals and stuff, like any sounds of life.
Not right now. It's pretty quiet.
Okay.
If I stop about like 20 paces from the house and just look at it, what would stand out to me as like different about it since I was here last?
You can give me perception check. Actually, I'm gonna go investigation on this one, just because of the nature of the role.
Cool. I'm gonna use my bless. That wasn't very good. I would like to add.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. Plus, we need to use those. I don't want it to stack.
Especially like, if like one person gets them, they just keep getting them.
Right.
Use it now.
15. Okay. It's very similar to, I mean, what you remember. It doesn't look like much modifications have happened to the house. It does look like it has not been cared for.
Sure.
And it's starting to fall into some disrepair.
Okay.
Windows have been boarded up,
Mhm.
and the door looks like it has a big lock on it. But it's almost like the same, besides just the general overgrowth, the disrepair. There's no love in this place.
Right. Right.
But it's like you look and there's the strings to hang clothes on that are still hanging nearby, and the fence is still there with paint chipping and wearing away, and a few of the slats of it dislodged, but it's still there. It's very similar to what it was, just years have begun to overtake it.
Sure. Could I just stand there for a couple minutes and probably grab my locket at a certain point and just kind of look at all of it? In a long time.
I would have started a detect magic ritual as soon as we got there. Just waiting.
Edison's just watching you as you're standing there and waiting for you guys to decide what you want to do.
If it's all right with all of you, maybe I go in first.
I think someone should watch you. I'm sorry, but we need to be careful. But if someone stands from the doorway and lets you wander in, does that sound acceptable?
That's fine.
I can.
I will break his pauses ritual for a second, reach into the pocket, and I'll hand it over to Euphemia, the letter that Edison gave him.
What's this?
Edison found it. I think it's from your father. I don't know if you want to read it when you're inside or not.
I glance at Edison. Does he look... He's just neutral, or...
You can give me an insight check on him.
So you can give me an Edison check on him.
21.
21. He, looks like he recognizes the letter, and he seems to be approving of, read it inside.
I don't know exactly how it would look. You guys are probably, Euphemia and him probably have their own mannerisms down by now, but it's not really a lean into whisper in your ear, but just enough to kind of whisper in so no one else can hear. You went back. I never did. But at least you know you have someone to go back and live for. He's not fully gone.
For now.
Find something to defeat the hags. You're strong. We're here. And I'll just kind of back off.
Kind of clutching that letter in one of my hands. All right, well, that's fine. We can leave the door open if you think that's better.
Yes.
I'll walk up to the door.
Edison takes the key, goes and unlocks the big lock that's kind of barring the door shut. Opens the latch. Just motions for you to go in when you're ready.
Okay. I might stand there for one more second and take a really big breath, and then she'll just push the door open and or walk in.
Yeah.
I'll restart if I have to, or go that.
No, it's not a major pause in your ritual.
Okay.
You can pick up where you left off. Yeah, you head in. It's very dark inside at this point, because all the windows are boarded up. But
Yep.
it's just kind of that stale air smell, dustiness. This place has been locked up for quite some time. It doesn't really seem like many people have come here.
Sure.
But
I think I would, if it's that dark, I would actually light my lantern that I just got with Druidcraft real quick. So that's a cantrip.
Let me roll for that. There's a mishap.
Oh no. Whoops.
Spell works.
It's bound to happen.
Oh no.
Oh well.
Okay. Spell does work.
She's
Let me
gotten
roll
a little.
and see what you got.
She's gotten a little free with those. Been lucky.
We'll see what happens on this one.
Uh-oh. Oh dear.
So as you kind of reach your finger up and almost flick it like a lighter almost to light the lantern,
Mm-hmm.
it really burns your finger a lot. It hurts
no.
a lot. Just
Jeez. How?
there's a little
So you do
burn
that?
mark on your fingertip now.
Yeah.
It looks like it got pretty severely burned.
Oh. Well,
Buddy.
seems appropriate, honestly.
We all felt the mishap. It's not like we thought it was some other
Yeah.
reaction to the house, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I even lean over to Edison and just say, mishap. Just because he doesn't have the tingle.
Just to clarify.
He just
Oh,
kind
yeah,
of acknowledges it, but seems more focused on watching Euphemia.
I think I would stand there like in maybe like 10 or so paces in and just kind of get my bearings first with the light. Kind of shining it in all of the corners.
Yeah, the lantern, I mean, it gives off probably a good 30 feet of decent light, and then it's much dimmer beyond that, but you can make out most of the room. There's still shadows kind of dancing as the flame flickers a little bit in the lantern, and there are a lot of memories of childhood that are like come rushing back to you.
Why I paused.
But it's just cold and quiet in here. It does not feel like a home at this point.
Sure. Is the someone else bought the house at one point, so the furniture's probably not the same, is it? Or is it kind of all in the same spots?
It's definitely been mostly emptied out at this point. Like, it doesn't look like there's
Okay.
a lot of items in here. It's mostly like the big stuff that people probably don't feel like moving too much.
Sure.
But majority
Sure.
of the things are out of this house.
Okay. Is the kitchen table still there?
There's the kitchen table still there.
Okay. I think after a couple seconds of just kind of looking around and like letting myself be hit by like the barrage of memory, I would go sit at the table and open the note.
I'm in the doorway, aren't I? I'm like, I can see her, right? Or am I outside of it? I just want to make sure I'm
I
watching.
think we're all
for
kind of
any
like
sort of
watching
danger.
her to make sure something.
Okay.
doesn't
All the
happen.
heads carrying around the edge.
Just making sure if I had a job to do, I was doing it and not slacking.
That
Yeah.
won't be. He's given privacy, but he's just doing the ritual.
Yeah, it's not very far into the house, so all of you can easily see her sitting at the table. But you unfold this note, and you see your father's handwriting. And there's a lot of, like, writings, and there's parts that are scratched off and things like that. It's kind of hastily written looking in certain places, and as you look at it and begin to read it, you see sections that are just like, I know I haven't been the best dad. Probably should have written you a while ago. I'm just sorry for... And it's like crossed off. Apologize for... And then it's like crossed off, and maybe I wasn't the best dad.
Oh.
Tried to be there for you when I could, but everything was tough on me. But I want you to know that I'm really proud of you and what you've done. I mean, you are changing the world. And it's just looks like it's almost like a rough draft type of a letter that maybe he thought about writing and sending, but he never actually did.
That's like what I said Edison first when I sent him the token too. I'm like, wow, we are so alike. Hilarious. He did the same thing.
And there's just like spots where it looks like he was tapping the pen on the paper.
Sure, like trying to think
like-
of what to say, or
Like there's like marks of just like lines like drawn into the side of it. It looks like scrap paper almost, but like he was writing a letter on here. and just decided
Sure.
not to send it or something.
I think as I'm reading it, I'm almost like touching those lines and like the spots where he paused and like sitting there taking my time with it.
Yeah. It is quiet. You hear your friends breathing probably behind you a little bit, watching in at you, but house just feels empty at this point.
Okay. Well, after I read that and I get a little emotional, I will fold it up and kind of just stick it in my coat pocket for now. And then get up, and I think I would kind of just trace back through the kitchen, like where I remember there being a knife on the counter and other things like that. Like I'm reorienting myself with what I remember. Even just places that I would spend a lot of time, like touching the counter and looking out the window, even though it's boarded up, like just kind of doing some of the same things I would have done. Even looking in the cabinets, just like really just handling this house again a little bit, even letting memories come back of like before and after Maribel was here. And
Yeah.
I would be looking for anything that stands out to me as different, but otherwise just trying to like navigate some of that, like pausing when it gets hard to remember.
Can you give me another investigation roll?
Okie doke. 14.
Okay. You're going through, and I mean, there's differences here and there from what you remember it. Because, I mean, obviously, there's not your stuff here.
Sure.
Other people probably have moved things around a little bit. And you're in the kitchen, and you remember exactly where you saw that knife. And as you walk, you can head into the room where your mom was just across the room. And the bed where you woke up was there. You're not seeing anything that stands out to you. There's just those memories.
Mm-hmm.
There doesn't seem to be anything significant about this house that you're noticing. It's either there is nothing or it's been lost. Maybe people have
Because
changed the house, but yeah, it just, you're not picking up anything that is standing out to you as suspicious or odd. Just
Okay.
looks like an empty shell of a house almost at this point. And Dav, your spell would go off at this point.
Does his 30-foot reach, does that, if he's at like a corner of the house, would that feel like it'd go almost to the center of the house? Or would he have to go inside to feel like he has to cover other ground?
30 feet, if you're up right up against the house, would probably get most of it, but yeah.
He's just going to slowly do a perimeter right at the edge, and he's kind of like running his hand against the wood of the house and just kind of just checking for pings. Obviously can tell exactly where Euphemia is at, but
outside of the items that you already know of, as you're walking around, there's just nothing about this house that stands out to you either. No magic things. Seems like a regular old house to you as well.
And makes it back up to the front and just kind of looks at Edison and Eleanor and just clear.
All right. Good to know. Thank you for doing that.
I think the last thing I would do before I kind of return to the party is, I don't know if the bed's still there or not, but I would sit where the bed was, if not.
Yeah, it's not there right now, but
okay.
You can sit on the ground.
I'm just gonna sit
there.
on the floor. And I think even just sitting there, kind of rocking back and forth a little bit and remembering like the last time I was here, what that felt like, but also just all of the other like times I've remembered this or seen it in dreams and then just in memories. I think I would let myself kind of go there a little bit and even get a little bit emotional. Kind of just like a little more panicky is what it would sound like to everybody from the doorway. Like letting stuff kind of bubble up.
Also, at least on my... Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'd say at least on my part, I think like we wouldn't be like staring at you. It'd be kind of like making like watching you without trying to like you know give you privacy while also making sure you're like safe. So hopefully you wouldn't like feel eyes on you and stuff.
I'm sure she already knows. I mean, she's kind of had to just get used to it at this point, but yeah, I think I would kind of just let myself live in that and like would be twirling my locket back and forth, thinking about like even the spot where she was next to me and looking up where my mom was. Almost like my intention would be to like jog a memory again. So I think I might even like repeat the pattern a couple times of like where I'm looking and let myself get kind of lost in it for a little while.
Are you attempting to have something happen?
I'm attempting in her mind, I'm attempting, is there something, if I'm here and I'm remembering, is there something I haven't seen? I think would be the intention.
So it's more like introspective in your head of memory rather than any sort of outside. Okay.
Yeah.
You can give me one more intelligence check.
Ooh, 16?
Okay.
You still have your bless?
No,
I used my bless.
Oh, dang it.
You think back, there really isn't anything else that's standing out too much. You do know that there is a floorboard that like used to hide things in that's off towards like the edge of the room.
Okay.
But other than that, there's not really anything else that stands out to you.
Okay. I think the party would hear her crying a little bit, but she lets it out for like a couple seconds and then like sniff and like tries to like pull it back in. And I think I would get up after a few seconds and go look the floorboard just because I remembered that it's there.
You pry it open. Inside is a little pouch. And when you grab it, you hear the clinking of some gold, and you look inside. There's 29 gold. Because thank you for the raid. Head to Queen Plays. Thank you.
That might be my favorite one.
Amazing.
But otherwise, there's nothing else in there.
Okay. Yeah, I think after I spent a few minutes just kind of like interacting with the house again, I would come back up to the doorway. My eyes are a little red. It's wow, I don't know. There's really nothing here. I don't really know what I was expecting, but I feel like there's pieces missing.
Do you want us to look at all?
You can if you want.
I'm not sure if we'd find anything either, but... And you already said you looked, Edison.
I do not think there is anything here. We're welcome to take a look. I did not find anything significant.
Oh, by the way, did Edison buy me holy water?
If you ask him for it, yeah, he'll hand you the vial of holy water.
Thank you very much. I'll add that to my inventory. Now I have 2. I feel a little better.
I'm gonna look up at Edison, kind of just like all of a sudden. What do you think about the knife?
The fact that she used it, or
That it was clean and there was no trail. It just doesn't make any sense.
it's possible she cleaned it. Perhaps she wiped it off on the sheets or something nearby.
It would have been all over her. I don't remember that.
It does seem suspicious. His eyes linger on you for a little bit.
Yeah, she's studying his face pretty hard at the moment because she wants to see what he thinks of that.
Give me an insight roll.
Idgin and Edison are both the people that were like, insight.
I know. I'm gonna use my advantage die.
All right.
Hard to
I guess we could read.
20.
20. You look at him. He is clearly studying you. You almost feel like you're getting a sense that he is suspicious of you in some ways. Like he's a little on edge right now, watching you.
Okay. That's what she suspected, honestly. So, okay. I think she would just look at him a little bit longer since she expected that and is waiting for him to say something or maybe acknowledge it.
He does not say anything. He just...
No.
He's comfortable with silence.
Right.
Sorry you did not find the results you were hoping for here.
It's hard to find something if I don't know what I'm looking for.
Investigation will have to continue.
I just can't work out how that happened.
Hopefully in time, the truth will be revealed.
Sorry to interject. What? So if you're saying a knife was clean, but everyone said she was stabbed.
That's why I used to say she didn't do it. It doesn't make any sense.
But you say she had stab wounds, because immediately I think of the bandits. They died through means that could not be traced.
Maribel was stabbed. whether that was the cause of her death or not. I don't know if it was ever determined. Looks at Edison. See if he's gonna.
She was most definitely stabbed to death. The level of blood loss and trauma from what she experienced was fatal.
The weapon must be somewhere else.
The weapon was on the counter from what we could see, but it
Or
was
there's a
clean.
different weapon.
Official report states it was your mother. She cleaned the blade. And that is what the official report states.
It just doesn't make sense.
Dav doesn't make many vibe checks. Is there any way to see while he's watching Edison, is there this feeling like he's holding back a piece of that report or evidence on from his perspective?
Give me a vibe check.
Sorry. I don't do it often, but
The big one, just big one.
19 down to an 18 because he's
It's pretty good.
turning his eye a little bit.
You feel like it's hard to read a little bit, but you get some sense that he is definitely not saying everything he's thinking here.
Also, I don't remember how much we talked to you about this strange little man that liked to follow Euphemia around. But there are creatures that can be invisible. Have you ever considered that? That are associated with hags.
You do not need to lecture me. I'm not the one who investigated the scene that night. I'm here to help get to the bottom of this.
Oh, Edison, I apologize. I'm not meaning to lecture you. I merely didn't remember if we said it to you or not.
We are aware that there are many things that are possible in this world. But
Means the actual truth of what's following.
the majority of things happen in the most common way that it would happen. When you hear of steps, you think horses, not zebras.
But isn't this case kind of unique where there's lots of weird things going on?
That is why I'm here. Either confirm what was reported years ago, or reveal what the actual truth is.
But then let's get back to investigating because this isn't a trial.
What is going on? There's some tension suddenly, and I don't even understand what just happened. Do we need to just lay everything out here? Because I thought we were all working together, and now suddenly we all have all veiled threats. What is going on?
We are working together.
Alright, so why the tension suddenly between everybody?
Euphemia has nothing to defend herself. It just seemed like almost sounded accusatory for a second.
Well, is there anything else you need here?
Up to you.
Seen enough in this place. I just wish it made more sense.
All right. He closes the door and latches the lock.
Hopefully there'll be more answers in our run then.
Let's hope. Is there anything else you need to attend to here?
I think so, right?
Okay. It is my turn to give a vibe check. Does Edison seem like his mood has now shifted, or like to like the group now, or does he seem pretty chill? It was just like a weird. I think Eleanor got super thrown off by how defensive he got with her. Like, she was just asking a question and it got sharp very quickly. So now she's like, what the, like, we can explore any possibility, including the fact that Euphemia might have killed her. But like, it just got weird really quick and she's not understanding why.
You can roll that.
20.
Okay. You get a sense that, I mean, just probably everything going on right here is definitely putting people on edge a little bit. Putting him on edge.
Mm-hmm.
So. He doesn't look like he's comfortable here either.
Interesting. So he almost doesn't seem like impartial almost to the case. It's like he seems a little emotional himself about it.
Like scared, I guess.
I wouldn't say scared, but he may be invested in this case from what you can tell.
I was getting like a little wary, maybe. Even.
Nervous.
But not like an impartial, like, I want to solve this case. Like, he's emotionally kind of in it. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, he wants to solve the case, but it's not like he has no connection to the case. I don't know what you're asking either.
Well, okay, I'll just rewind. Again, I was confused why he snapped at her for, like, no reason.
It wasn't meant to be like a snap.
Like,
it's just like, I wasn't there. I'm going off of what they reported. So that's basically what it was. Like, I have nothing to go off of besides what was there, and she's saying something. I'm going off versus what other people are saying. So.
Okay.
So really, at this point, it could just be like in that moment of like, there's dead ends. Everyone's a little frustrated. There's no things. It's not like there's anything
it's not
to
really
overlook. It's just kind of like all right, dead end. You know,
like,
that kind of thing.
move on.
There's nothing that you guys are finding here that seems like it's standing out as anything.
That's what it felt like to me. It wasn't like anything sharp or specific. I think it's just kind of like that frustrations of, well, we don't really have an answer either way. So that's what I got. And
like, you all pick up on Edison's probably not saying everything he's thinking, but he is
right.
He is still invested in solving this case. So
yes. Okay, sounds good.
So if you're all ready, then we can go to error run.
Yeah.
All right, gather around. And he will go ahead and cast teleport with his hat.
Oh yeah!
So exciting!
Oh, look
Forgot
at
about the
that!
tense.
Look at that!
Can I go to the bathroom first?
There is a mishap as well.
Oh my god!
Yep, that sounds
a
about
high
right,
level
doesn't
one
it?
too, huh?
Yep. Let me.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, definitely mishap on that one.
Does it
Spell
work at
fails.
least?
Spell fails.
Uh-oh.
Fails.
Spell fails.
I was worried about that
no.
a little bit. Pretty high level thing.
Let me see what this mishap is real quick.
Oh boy.
Sorry.
Okay. He looks a little frustrated, casts again.
Been there.
Uh-oh.
This time it works.
Hey,
Okay.
we may not be able to get back, but we can definitely get there.
I know Eleanor
And-
is just like, it's almost like she's about to be like, well, let's not, and then you just cast it again. Literally, she's like,
And with that, we're gonna go take a break as you guys
Okay.
teleport off. The second time you had to use it. So
Perfect.
stick around, everybody. We'll be back shortly as our party is teleported over to Arrow Run. We'll see if they end up there. I gotta roll for that still. But stick around. We'll be back soon.
Yep.
See y'all shortly. Hello, everybody. We are back for our second half of the session here, as our party has teleported from Edgefort and are now on target to arrive in Arrowrun, a city that only Eleonora of this party would have familiarity with. Some real significant familiarity too for Eleonora, as
Oh yeah, it's great memories here.
yeah, some good times. So
She definitely seems tense. She's like, I was gonna say I didn't really narrate it because it was Euphemia's scene, but during just the whole house, she didn't even look on edge like maybe some of the others did with this. She was prepping for here, and now
That makes
she
sense.
looks on edge, very stiff, very tense.
but you guys arrive, and it is a pretty significant change in climate as you enter here, as you were in kind of a wooded area that was a little more cool and temperate, and now you are in a desert city. Like, it is instantly much warmer than it was before. Everything kind of, it feels drier. The sun is very brightly shining above you, and yeah, it's a big adjustment for this sudden shift. But you look around, the city is definitely like less trees. There's like palm trees and things like that throughout. But you also notice, as you look in a direction which you guys can discern to be north, there is like a huge mountain range above you, and the city is like built going up into this mountain range, as there are higher levels that are up around the edge of the mountains, and you are currently in the lower section of the city. All right.
Welcome to the Bronze Barrens.
Why do people live in the sand? Sand is stupid. I don't like it.
Really channeling
It's Anakin vibes.
the Anakin style. Yeah.
Getting everywhere already. We've been here in 2
Seriously,
seconds.
it's in the joints of my armor already.
I like the sand. It's very squishy. I don't know.
I wish Padme would have said that in Star Wars.
Well, I like it.
It's squishy, okay?
Okay.
Well, we're here for a mission, correct? See the grave?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let me go and seek permission to dig up a grave. 4 of you occupy yourself while I'm gone.
This right here.
I can meet you back here if that's what you desire.
And how long do you think it'll be?
Hoping
How
it'd be
long
no
does
more
this
than a
normally
half
take?
hour.
All right. Sounds good. We'll meet you back here then.
All right.
Mm.
He'll turn and start heading off. What are you guys doing while you're waiting?
Are we like standing in the middle of
Nice.
the street, or like where are we standing?
Yeah,
Like,
where are we?
teleported?
You appeared in kind of one of the entry points to the city. Like, there's a gate behind you that would lead out into the desert. There's a small stone wall that's kind of around the city. There are some guards stationed at the entry point. Some various shops are scattered around this area, little stands that people have fruit or other supplies that you might need. You're just in this area. You kind of just appeared. There's a few people who look like they took notice of you, but most people don't even seem to care, and they just kind of continue on with their business. But Yeah.
Kind of like as soon as Edison starts to leave, Eleonora like literally looks like she's looking for like a more shaded place. Like if there's like walls or something or like building, and she just like
Side of a
steps underneath it, like she doesn't even really want sunlight to like shine on her.
Yeah.
Just kind of like steps and looks uncomfortable.
Yeah, you're able
Is there
to
any
find some shade under some coverings.
like plant life around where we are? Like, I don't know,
Yeah.
anything?
I'd just be curious
animals
about
or anything?
like
You can give me a perception roll if you'd like from looking around in the shade.
Sure. 11.
9.
Well, you do notice like the palm trees that are in various places throughout. Otherwise, you're not seeing a lot of vegetation where you are here. You're more in a city area, and there's not a lot going on here. But yeah.
I think I'd just be kind of watchful of the area and just keeping an eye on who's around, who's noticed us, who hasn't, like that kind of thing. The general watchfulness while we're here, since we're trying not to make too big of a stink.
Okay. So you're just keeping an eye on people?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are any of you trying to hide or remain unseen?
I wouldn't be.
I'm trying not to be noticeable.
Okay. You can give me a deception check to kind of subdue people's look at you, I would say. Or performance, if you'd like that instead. I'll give you that one too. Or a stealth check.
No.
I'll let you pick which one of those you like.
Okay. 10.
10. Okay.
She's too sweaty and everyone notices because she's very nervous.
So shiny.
She's so nervous.
Okay.
Dav's gonna do the opposite in a way. Like, he's not trying to necessarily hide himself, but he's also allowing himself to be kind of the focus to get eyes off of Eleonora in a way, but not like making a big scene about it, but just he's not trying to. Yeah. Hey. Yeah, he's not trying to. He normally will hide his, his stone, but he's letting that just be a natural deterrent.
Okay. Rachel, highs or lows?
Lows.
Okay. So as you guys are keeping an eye out, looking around, anybody who's watching, people can give me insight rolls. Give me some vibe check.
Yes. Collective vibe check.
Oh. 19 again.
Nice.
13.
14.
Okay. So as you're all kind of hanging out there, waiting around in the shade for a while, I mean, most people are just kind of going about their business, looking at different stands and checking out fruit and squeezing them and stuff, and typical shopgoer stuff. Most people don't seem to have any care in the world about the people around them. Winnie, you're kind of keeping an eye out, though, looking around, and you see a couple of people, like a guy and a girl, who are just kind of like looking at you guys, and they're just whispering to each other, looking in your direction. But they're across the way a little bit, out into the market more.
What do they look like? Do they look like are they dressed in a particular way? Do they seem like they're just...
They look like locals. They're
Okay.
a couple of humans. Just look like they're looking at you and talking.
I will be like, "Psst, Eleanor," just like, and trying to just talk in a way that's very casual. But I think those people across over there are looking at us. I just want you to know. Do you know them at all?
No.
When you give me a deception roll, please.
Me?
Yes.
Oh no. What's
Can
my
I look where
deception? I
she's
don't even-
looking since I have observance and I can read lips?
Give me a
Oh, that's good,
deception
that's
roll
good.
first.
Ooh, sweet. I like it.
Oh, 19 again. Just 19.
Okay.
That's not bad.
Nice.
My
Nice.
wisdom is getting better. I'm doing this. Hey, everybody. Yeah.
I'll just kind of like
Oh.
step next to Winnie and kind of see if I can see what's going on.
Give me a perception roll.
Pointing to them. Man, my nose is so itchy.
Uh, 18.
Team. So it's a little hard to see as they are just like, they're not openly
Yeah.
talking. It's very like,
For
kind of like
sure.
turned and
Not all.
talking to each other in whispered tones, and you feel like you see one of the people though say something like, yeah, pretty sure that's her.
All right.
And they both turn and they start like walking away.
As they turn to walk away, I'm just gonna turn quietly to the rest of the group and say they know who you are.
Of course they do. I knew this would happen. I told you they recognized me on sight. It's out
They-
now. There's no point in looking back.
Well, are they going to recognize you purely because of your brother or what happened here?
Yes, of course. I'm a murderer. Don't you remember, Daryl?
Right, but did you die here?
Yes, and now I'm not dead.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So that
It's
could
done.
be it as well. What
Both.
did happen
It's
here?
both. What do you
I
mean?
don't think you ever really told us that.
Oh, I did. It was
Mhm.
different though here. I mean, this was where Lucy saved me,
Yeah, but
and this is also where I should have died.
that's all I know. What actually happened?
Thugs recognized me, decided they wanted to teach me a lesson, tried to kill me, apparently did here. But Lucy took care of them.
How?
Arrow.
Hmm.
Well, one of them. She let the rest live. They ran off. But that's all that really happened here. I mean, I was here for I don't know, a few weeks before that, trying to find allies at the time. I've spent much of my time here and the other cities of the Bronze Barons, trying to gather allies in vain.
Do you
Everywhere, I'm recognized.
do you think I should follow them and see where they go? Or we just need to be careful.
I think either today it would have happened or rumors from Edgefort. It's done. There's nothing that can be done to reverse it. I had hoped for some secrecy, but that did not happen. So we'll just see how hospitable the city is. Be on the lookout.
Well, you said you were
People
looking
that-
for allies. Did anybody even consider opening arms?
No. Some were, even if there were a few sympathetic ears here and there, there's not anything they could do. That's what they told me. So,
Well, at least you're not alone this time. So, I mean,
that does certainly help.
Hopefully.
Well, what, you going to turn on me? She
No,
says
I
it
just mean-
teasingly, she knows she won't, but...
Sometimes my presence doesn't help if anything hinders. So, well, hopefully,
Don't worry.
our presence
worry.
helps.
Well, if we make
Nothing
no
Can
trouble,
make it worse.
we're here to do one thing and leave.
If he has enough charges to leave. So, we're here now. We need to do what we can with what we have. Just know, might be trouble.
Well, are we staying here or are we moving?
I think we're gonna wait for Edison, aren't we?
I would rather wait for Edison. The
We'll
fact
get
that he
out
went
of-
off after I said, hello, everyone wants to kill me here, really does not put my mind at ease, but...
We don't have to be in the exact spot they saw us. We could go inside somewhere and be looking out into the plaza for Edison.
I mean, we're in are we in a big public place?
Yeah.
It's like any cafes or storefronts or anything like in a counter intersection or anything like that.
I mean, there's some places that are like covered seating areas with cafes. They're not completely private. They're a little open how they're built, but it's got like some cloth that's blocking some view. You can see that's nearby. There are a bunch of buildings, but you don't really know necessarily what they all are at this point. But
Is there any shops? Because so I was trying to think through of how can I disguise? I have nothing to even try to cover up my hair or anything. Is there any place that sells headscarves or just something I can kind of a gauzy thing I can kind of drape around me or something for not that much money?
sure, you can roll a
That I
perception
see.
check.
She's so off. 9.
You're looking around, and where you currently are, it's hard to get a good view of everything on the street. You'd imagine there probably is something like that here, but
Mm-hmm.
visibility right now is not something you can see, connect with anything at this point.
Okay. She will kind of take out some money though and be like, one of you go see if you can find me something. Like a hat or a scarf or something.
Yeah, I can.
I'll go with Winnie
Okay.
just to make sure.
Lovely.
How about that cafe across the street? At least we're not in the same place those people saw us at the very least.
To let me stay, certainly.
Well,
We'll be
see.
quick. Right, Winnie?
Yeah, we'll go look for some sort of head covering or something.
Mm-hmm.
At least make sure it's not atrocious.
Some ski mask or something.
behind her, you just go, please do.
Find that one.
Ugliest thing.
So the two of you head off into the market a little more, look around for a headscarf. Or are you two staying put, or are you going to the cafe?
Want to go in or do you want to wait to get out?
I'd rather wait, to be honest.
All right, if anybody comes up, I'll let you do the talking.
Sure.
I could be like a, watch light marshal or something, and we're, escorting you in to check on something so no one.
How about this? Let's.
Is that a bad thing to pretend you're law enforcement?
I guess so. She doesn't really want to go in a business because she feels like that's going to be even worse. But if there's even another corner, we can kind of go a couple blocks or something just to not be in the exact spot. I don't mind doing that. She just doesn't want to go in a business.
You guys
I
want
mean-
to try to hide somewhere else? You can.
Yeah, we just find a alley or shade of a tree or something.
Yeah. Not
Something
far away
different.
because we want to see them come back and we can signal them over or whatever, but
Okay,
just slightly off so we're not we just never moved.
sounds good. So scurry a little bit away from where you were, but yeah, sounds good. The other two walk in as you go through the market. It's fairly easy to find. There are various mannequins that you can find that have headdresses on, some clothing options, and you're able to find one for purchase fairly easily.
Is it pretty?
It looks nice, yes.
Okay.
Oh,
If it's too
merciful.
expensive, we
Merciful.
can't go that pretty. We just need to
for sure.
I gave you
She
like
won't wear
5
it,
gold.
not though.
So
Something, nothing. 5 gold, please.
But you're able to find one fairly easily for a single gold piece that looks
Hey.
Okay.
respectable. for
Pay it.
Eleanor.
Cool.
Ugh,
I'll remember. Gold
I've
piece.
never gotten to gold below before, but fine, I guess I'll wear the hat.
I'm trying to think if there's anything. But I basically want to. I don't know if people catch on or with her, we may not have an opportunity to buy much more. So I'm trying to like think in advance. Anything here that seems like something of note, or like, I don't know. I like books. Any books around that I see that are like anything like that.
Just a scan of the market, you don't really see a lot of booksellers out here.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Just try to see. All right. Yeah, I think we'll take that back then to her
Yeah.
quickly.
Not wasting too much time. I think as we're going back and forth, I'd still definitely be like pretty watchful around.
Okay.
Just making sure I know what's going on around us.
Sure. Everyone can give me perception rolls if you'd like.
20.
Nice.
7.
7.
23.
Okay.
It's been all 19s and 4s today for me. That's it.
Yeah.
That's
That's funny.
it.
They get like stuck.
Yeah.
I was like trying to look around, but his eyes are just like the one eye's real big. And it's like some kid just like.
Dare we?
So as you all are hanging out and looking around, Eleanor, you do notice that they're on their way back. But as you're looking, you also kind of look up at one of the rooftops of one of the buildings, and there's somebody who has a bow that just kind of is patrolling the top. You look over, and there's a second person across the way on another rooftop, just kind of looks like they're overlooking the crowd. And Euphemia, as you're walking up, you look up and you see both of these two people as well. You both are able to catch a glance where they do look like they are favoring looks in the direction where Eleanor is. Euphemia, you don't know where Eleanor is right now exactly, but you know.
Currently.
But Eleanor, you pick up on that.
This seems
Sure.
bad though.
Does
I would
it
just say
seem
to-
like... Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I was just gonna say to Winnie quietly, like, I think there's people looking. We need to be really careful when we find her.
What do we do?
I mean, we should tell her in case she doesn't see them.
This is a good spot. No one can see us over here.
Oh, definitely. So question, does this look like the local guard? Like, do I recognize them?
As you look at it, they do look like they are dressed like the people at the front gate. They look like they are...
Have I seen people patrol rooftops before? Is that pretty normal? Or is that weird to me?
Give me a history roll.
Do I normally see the FBI with snipers on me on there?
Yeah. Alert!
Gosh. 16.
Okay. You've heard, I mean, Arrow Run is known for vantage points, where that is typically where, I mean, guards are the rising levels of the city into the mountains. Like, it's meant to be like we can fire down at things. Like, there are vantage points for archers to be stationed. So it's fairly common, from what you are aware, for them to get a higher perspective, and you almost like know that the city is structured in a way that it gives them vantage points to a lot of different things from various rooftops.
Cool. Okay. So it would, what I would think, at least off the bat, would be they might notice me and they're like, oh, what is she? But it's not like moving in for an attack necessarily. They're mostly just keeping an eye on me, is what I would assume.
It does seem like the people on the rooftops are keeping an eye on you. That's what you pick up
Yes.
on. Yes.
Okay. Like, I could dismiss it as like guard normal activity in some level versus like they're about to kill me like type of thing.
I mean, you have nothing that is indicating to you that these people are about to shoot you from the rooftops and kill you.
Right. Yeah, perfect. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't accidentally missing that. If you're okay, yeah. So I kind of like wave over when we see the two. Kind of wave them over.
And now, Euphemia, you realize that they've been looking in that direction a lot.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I would just kind of say, did you notice? Being watched.
Wait, what?
On the roof.
Yeah, on the roof.
He's like looking directly at the guy now, like
the guy just like makes direct eye contact with you, Dab.
With your one eye.
Man.
Oh, right.
I look at the hat though. Yeah,
Is it sufficient?
It's a headscarf.
Do you like this?
Yeah.
Oh, headscarf.
Headscarf.
Yeah. This is very nice. Thank you very much. I'll take back like the rest of my money.
Well, I mean, I know you're here now. Want some tea?
No, not really.
Alright.
I don't feel like getting bribed. Not bribed.
Sure.
I'm not
Berated.
full of
Dude.
Yeah.
Oh, just anything. I mean, don't stay here or pay 12 gold extra to stay here if you want to stay here. Tarnishes a reputation or whatever. It's just any establishment has a very unique way of dealing with it if they don't like me. So I'd rather just sit here until Edison comes, to be perfectly honest.
How long has it been, by the way? Has it been?
That is
About
wise.
20 minutes or so.
Okay.
Mhm. Okay.
So about 5 minutes more go by, and you do see Edison kind of looking around for you, and he looks around and he starts walking your direction.
Real quick, super short. During that 5 minutes, is there like a street vendor? Is there like a little meat stick guy? Is there anything like that Dab can try the local
so bad.
cuisine?
Yeah,
Waiting for
Definitely.
the food. There it is.
So
there's a fruit kebab you can get.
Fruit kebab!
Perfect.
Kebabs! Anything on a
he's-
stick.
He sees and he's like, do you guys I really want to try
Go.
the cuisine? Do you
Go
guys
ahead.
want 3, 4,
Yeah.
No.
2? Okay. And then real quick, yeah, he's just gonna buy 2 of them.
Yeah, there's
and
this
try
fruit,
'em out.
and there's also, you notice next to it, you can smell, there is, because you got your smell back now, right? So there is
Yeah.
some sort of meat that it has like a glaze on top of it that looks like it's been roasted,
Ooh.
also in kebab form. That is nearby.
Yeah,
Perfect.
2 fruit, 2 meat. That'd be great.
Right?
How
Of
much?
course,
Stick.
of course.
Meat stick.
That'll be 5 silver.
Okay.
Imagining him holding all these sticks. Like
That I can do because I forgot I gave all my. I look over when I gave the rest of my gold too. He's meant to be. You gotta enjoy the moments when he can take them, and I'll give a gold to get change,
So funny.
5 silver back to you.
and then he'll give 1 fruit and 1 meat to Winnie, and take the other 2 and go.
Just want to savor them and like take one, then the other. I just
Perfect.
try to. Are they good? Do we like them?
Oh yeah, they're really good.
Okay. And I'll offer
Spicy
some
for
to
my
both of you
taste,
guys.
yeah.
Like, do you guys want any of these?
All right,
It's
thank
okay.
you.
Okay.
It's fine.
I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Look,
Are the guards watching us like be weird, or are they just kind of?
Oh yeah, they're all watching you.
I'm just being a tourist. I think
Yeah, I was just
we're
gonna
not
say,
acting
this is-
normal.
This
That's
is like
true.
we just got to a theme park, is what this is making me think. Like, instead of getting.
We
You
got
are
a hat. Yeah, we have
100% being watched.
I'm
need a
just kind of
sweatshirt now,
watching
for,
all
like-
the watchers and watching for Edison until he shows up. But
Yeah, they're not doing anything. They're just keeping an eye on you, it looks like. But Edison does show up and walks over to you. All right. He has a piece of paper. We got permission to dig up the grave.
I'm surprised about that.
What?
I'm just
Why are you
surprised we got
surprised?
permission.
it's
Oh.
Watchlight.
Yeah.
I offered it to everyone else, but do you want any meat or fruit, Edison? I still have some left.
I'm all
Travel
right,
of
thank you.
cuisine.
Okay, just making sure.
Spicy. Not used to that.
Yeah, so many things have a kick to it, yeah.
How far is the graveyard from here?
It is closer to the mountains. They keep them underground there.
Okay.
We do have people watching us right now too, just in case you.
He scans
Okay, like,
around, looks
motion
up to the
upwards?
rooftops.
Eleanor just gives a strained smile. Like,
Have you been spotted?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody in the
Looking
market
at
spotted us.
Eleanor specifically, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna say, like, we
Mhm.
saw them within 5 minutes of you leaving.
yes, it was very quick.
All right. Well, sit close to me.
Gladly.
So he begins
Do
to
the
lead
guards
you.
react when they see Edison? I don't know how like well known he is though. Like if he needs like the badge for people to realize like he's
Or if they can tell, watch
a big guy.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
there's probably not a
He's
big
a big
reaction
guy.
that you notice. It's just they're watching.
Sure. Cool.
But you begin to walk through the market, through the city, closer in the direction of the mountains. And as you go, he's taking the lead, and you're able to look back a few times and notice that there are still people on rooftops who are watching you. There's a couple people on foot also that you notice that occasionally look in your direction like they're just patrolling in your general area. It's just, yeah.
Yeah.
They're not really letting you out of their sight at this point.
While we're walking around,
Mhm.
I don't even know what I'd be looking for. But I would kind of be looking around for like what would Death be interested to have Lucy doing here? Like, is there anything I see that I look and I'm like, huh, he might like that, you know, or whatever. Like just because he was really secretive about it.
As you're walking, you can give me a perception roll.
Sure. I'm gonna use my
Mm.
advantage.
Oh wow, on this? Okay.
Dang.
Forgot we had advantage.
I mean, yeah, kinda.
Go for it.
Oh no, I got a 1 and a 3.
Oh no.
Oh dear, that's sad.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't meant to be.
Oh, never mind.
So you're looking around. I mean, you see kind of the general area that you recall, but you're not picking up on anything that stands out. All the buildings are fairly plain looking. They're all pretty uniform too. Like, what is it, the sandstone type look for a lot of them. And it's nothing really stands out about this place that you're like, this seems like Death would be interested in this. It's just a city.
Right.
So.
Right. Okay. Sounds good.
Yes.
I would like to step up next to Edison while we're walking.
Okay.
And I think I would just walk quietly for, I don't know, a little ways and not say anything, but then eventually would just kind of blurt out, does Watchlight assign cases or did you pick this?
This was assigned to me.
Alright. I can tell you care about the people that were lost, so.
I don't like to see this stuff happen to people.
Yeah.
Specifically, the Watts case is what was given to me.
Yeah.
I've been digging deeper because of the possible connections between them all.
If they are related, I would like to see all of this end for the future as well.
Yes, I agree. Hopefully, this will yield results.
I hope so. It kind of seems like we just keep having more questions, but is that maybe part of it?
This definitely does seem to go deeper.
As she's walking, she's kind of like digging in her pack and pulls out that health potion that we found at the house. And hands it to him and says, in case things happen, I think you should have this.
Sure you don't want to keep this for yourself? I can acquire things that I need on my own.
Well, do you have one with you right now?
Not on me personally, but...
Then just take it for now.
Alright.
Please. Just... Last night was not good, in case something happens again.
Okay. I'll put it in his coat pocket. Thank you.
Sure. She won't say anything else, but I think she is going to walk there until we get there.
Okay. So, Edison looks like he is walking with a purpose. He's not even really trying to like look back at the guards too much and put too much mind to them. But if you guys are looking, you do see that they are still following. But you do approach the mountain like edge where there are various walls that are built up into the edge of the mountains, and some places that go down into those, like underground in there. As soon as you start walking down in there, you notice there are some like various religious symbols around from various deities. Looks like a general worship can happen here. It's not anything specific. It's kind of a general looking place. And the heat of the sun immediately is relieved as you enter down into this cool chamber as you go deeper into the shade. But the stonework echoes out as you walk down. Edison says, just to remind you all of some risks involved in this. The Bronze Barons is known for undead. There is risk of undead anywhere around here, so be prepared for that. Reminder, we are going to see the body of Holly Watts, and it was her mother who is thought to have killed her, Catherine. She attacked somebody, and they struck her in self-defense and killed her. And then her father, Benjamin, when he found out about what happened to his wife and daughter, he looks up through himself from one of the upper levels of the city. So,
how old was the girl?
6 years old.
The same as Maribel.
Yes.
So, just making sure I follow that right. Mother attacked the daughter and then attacked someone else and got killed in self-defense, or the daughter killed the mother in self-defense?
No. There was an individual who stumbled upon her, and she lunged at him, and she died in that. She was still aggressive, it seems.
All right, 2 follow-ups. One, was there a weapon involved, like the knife with Euphemia?
She was not wielding one at the time, but the girl was stabbed to death.
And then, okay, yeah, okay. Follow up to that, and the other question. One, Euphemia, I'm really sorry, but did your mother attack anybody else?
Only me before she was taken away, but not that night.
He kind of just like lets it go. Was there blood found like under her nails or anything like that?
Who?
The mother.
Mine?
Sorry, Watts.
Okay.
It kind of seemed like he was like just kind of dropping like your case and just kind of going back to the Watts because it's more factual.
She was found with blood on her, yes.
Like anything like under her nails, like do you think she might have been transformed at all?
I do not think there was
No
any
signs of
evidence
that.
that I saw that looked like that.
And you said the knife wasn't on her.
No, there was no weapon found, but the blade marks that are within Holly's body indicated that there was a blade involved. We don't know where it went.
So that's similar as well,
It was
in a way.
pretty similar
Potentially.
from what I saw
But
in the vision.
that may be a conclusion that it's being jumped to.
Right.
One last thing as well. I used to use daggers a lot. I'm sure someone in the watch like you guys would be able to study swords and more cleaner blades. Is this consistent with stabbings of a blade, or is this more ragged of like something that would have, I guess, more of any other sort of puncturing thing? Was it clean?
It does look like it is a blade wound.
Okay.
Was the mother also having issues beforehand of sanity?
Yes.
Do you know how many years? How long?
Reports go back to early signs, maybe a few years back.
Right, so that is the same potentially as well. In some ways.
It does appear to be similar.
Edison, how many times was Holly stabbed? Is it the same?
There were many. It's hard to make out everything, but it was probably 20 more.
Euphemia, didn't your mom say that, like, Maribel wasn't real or something? Wasn't that one of the things she said a lot? Was there anything like that with Catherine, where she said she wasn't real? Or wasn't her daughter?
I am not sure. Unfortunately, Catherine was dead before we could get any information from her.
Are there any reports of what she used to say as they started to notice problems with her? Would she say anything, or is there a record of any of that?
There is not a lot, as there's not, no family left to ask. But we did get some reports of neighbors who were slightly aware of the situation and paranoia that she seemed to be experiencing.
Did she say anything about being watched?
Perhaps. I'm not certain on that one.
If we find shrooms, I volunteer just to get down in there and go through it. I'm the easiest one to take down. And it seems, hopefully, I was able to fight it off last time a little better.
He looks to you, Euphemia. Do you approve of that?
No, but are you going to allow it?
Yeah.
This really should be me, though, who does it, but if you want to assist me, Dev, you may.
Of course.
So, he begins to lead you to these underground chambers, where he is met by somebody who looks like one of the attendants of this burial site. And he shows the paper, explains the situation, and oh yes, of course. And begins to look like he's going to lead him, and Edison says, please just tell me where it is, we'll take care of it. We don't want you to get involved in this. He looks a little like, okay, but he points the direction.
Pulling rank again.
Thank you. So, you guys get led.
Sorry, quick question. Would Watchlight have the reputation to just the common folk of like, ooh, supernatural, or just necessarily mishap and artifact monitoring?
Yes.
Okay. So it's almost like, ooh, yeah, definitely don't want to get involved in that.
It's
They say stay back.
Yeah.
Okay.
As you walk through, though, I mean, there's various graves that are aligning like both sides that look like they have like a large stone that's put on top of them. It's like a rectangular stone, like covering them up.
Sarcophagus.
But it's almost like that, but it's like on the ground. It's not actually like
okay. Yep.
a sarcophagus. And you notice that there's a few of them that like have different pedestals between them that have a glowing sigil on them that are just scattered throughout in various places. But you're passing through and seeing different names like scrawled on these stone blocks that you're passing, and different pathways as you go down, and there's some staircases that you head down to a lower section, and eventually you turn enough times that you arrive at a location where there's lined up a bunch of them, and Edison's walking down and looking, and you notice there are 3 graves for each of the Watts family members that are laid out here. And you see Benjamin, Catherine, and Holly all lined up next to each other. All right. Well, left to take down a little bit, but we have to move the stone as well.
There's not any mushrooms at first glance, right? That we see as we walk up, or?
No. I mean, there's a big stone on top of it too, so there's.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, you don't see any mushrooms.
I will unhook his gauntlets and then kind of like release them as the spring kind of brings all the metal things back to his back, and then unhooks the harness and tucks it into a shield as like it all kind of like goes together, and then we'll hand it over to Winnie and give him his arcane focus pouch as well. I trust you can catch me down.
What if there's like undead or something in there?
You guys protect me.
We'll be
Okay.
ready.
I can put that back on pretty quick.
Edison does say those symbols should be preventing undead from rising, but You never know.
Is that like a recent thing from the Shutter? That's kind of how people are buried now? Okay.
Oof, cool.
So, it takes a little bit of effort, but Dav and Edison combined can slide the stone over and away. Or Winnie.
The strongest
Dav
of
and
us
Winnie on
all.
one side for sure.
Yeah, I can definitely help. Even if I'm carrying stuff, I can try and help.
I'll hold it until you're done if you want.
But it is sort of this reddish colored ground that you get to, this reddish dirt, and there's some shovels that you're able to collect and start digging down. You're not forced to go too deep before you hit it sounds like a casket or something, and you're able to clear it off, and you notice a new casket. It's intact, it's nice looking. There's nothing really that stands out to you about this.
You said they died much more recently, right?
Like a month ago, I think.
It was
2 months
when
ago.
8/12
we were
is
in
the date.
when we were in Heaven's Reach.
I would like back up most people,
Mm-hmm.
like just and like have stuff ready, like to do something.
As you guys kind of get situated and ready to go, like the final like cleaning up of the top of this to get it so you can clear it open, you do hear some footsteps on the stone down the hallway back the way you came. And you look down there, and it looks like there are a couple guards from the city who are nearby as well, who just kind of look like they're watching down the hallway and seeing what you guys are doing. And Edison
Edison's busy.
wipes his brow and just looks at him. Just wonderful. Okay.
Is here
I told
something?
you.
I think if we see them, I would almost position myself in between Eleonora and the guards, just as another person. Like, not
They look like-
directly, but just like kind of in the way a little bit.
Do they look like they're still just watching, or do they look kind of aggressive? Do they look like curious? Like, what's their mood if I'm like
Give me that vibe check there.
looking at that?
Oh, that
Might as well, or-
Oh, Nora, 10.
Wait, said I can do or no?
Yeah,
Is
you
that
can.
not? Oh, 18.
Okay. Yeah, they just look like they're very much so just keeping an eye on you guys. They are curious to what's going on.
Okay. All right.
But
fair enough.
They are keeping their distance at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know why I just saw the two sisters in like I just think about you both just doing vibe checks all the time and just like a whole Nancy Drew sister
Yeah.
detective.
very Nancy Drew moment right
saying
there.
name. You guys
Yes.
have to do that.
It's like, yeah, I do call it, it's like sensing motive, digging deeper. looking for
Yes.
clues, snooping, things that we learn
Oh
well.
my gosh, it is so good. Sorry.
How far back do we want to stand mechanically here, Eleanor?
Was it out like by
thinking,
10 feet? So 15
I was thinking
feet.
like, yeah, I was thinking about 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there is like one tunnel that goes back the way you came that you know for sure. You're not sure if you go further. There's a way to wrap around, but you can
Okay.
position yourself how you'd like to, whether you want to block both ways or whatever. But
Maybe we should block both ways.
True. The guards are on one, aren't they?
the guards are also down like the way you came up.
I'll
Yeah.
stay on that one.
Okay, so you're on the
I'll go on
right
the other
direction.
side.
Eleanor's on the left direction. Okay.
You see
I
Dad.
actually though, as like everyone's getting in position and Edison looks over, I like as I'm like walking past to like get in position, I just say to Edison, "Do you want to say something to them in case someone starts attacking?" And then I would
He-
normally, but I don't think it's going to work.
He walks to the center of the hallway and starts walking a little bit closer to them. This is official business. Please stay back and do not get involved no matter what happens. They just kind of, all right. They seem, from your vibe check, Woody, you definitely kind of get the sense of like, you don't tell us what to do, man, but okay.
All right.
I'm gonna be respectfully outward facing, but like, you don't tell me what to do, type of a thing.
That's
Okay.
so funny. Oh my
FBI
gosh.
meets NYPD. This is awesome.
Yeah. It's great.
Dav, while this is going on, you see him. He's like kind of almost like doing this like breath work. And it's almost like a couple movements from the blade singing as he's preparing kind of like his constitution, his breathing for this. It's not like a whole dance, but it's just like a couple movements. Doesn't activate anything, but he wish it did.
Edison will walk over and hang his hat on like a sconce that's nearby the grave.
So cool.
And he gets close to the casket, looking like he's ready to pry it open. All right, are you ready?
Oh yeah, quick question. I'm guessing we're not just like destroying the body like last time. We're just clearing mushrooms as much as we can.
Let's find out what we see, and we'll go forward from there.
Cool.
So, kicks the pry bar, and hear him start to pull the nails out of the wood.
Watching very closely from where we are.
The wood's creaking, and eventually he gets enough of them up that you're able to pull the top of the casket open. And as he opens it up, Davro, I need you to give me a perception roll.
At disadvantage. Yeah, that was a good roll back down to a bad one. That's a 2, my man.
2.
Oh, gosh.
Wonderful.
Oh boy.
And a reroll, if I used it, would still be at disadvantage if I used it. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. I'll save it.
Okay. So, he pries it open, and there's a poof of some spores that come out. Give me a Constitution saving throw, Davro.
That's where I'll use the advantage on.
All right.
Mucho bettero. 18.
18. So the spores kind of rise up around you and Edison, and no effect seems to happen. As you look in, you see something very odd to you. You look in there, and it looks like there's clothing of this young girl that's laid out, but inside it is almost like a formed, in the shape vaguely humanoid, of mushrooms. Kind of smaller than what you had before. Or smaller than the ones that you saw back at Maribel's grave. Like early stage of them. But it is not a human girl that's in this casket.
What does that mean?
What do you see? I called.
What is it?
Edison motions for you to step forth as like the spores kind of have dispersed. It wasn't as big of a cloud either. As
Oh,
the first one.
okay, that's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll come over.
Yeah.
And he like points to it, and it's just like there's no actual person body here. It's like mushrooms in the vague shape inside the clothing that's there.
She's totally gone.
Did they take her?
Would I know, like, in like nature and all the stuff that I've studied and things like that, like how quickly maybe things could be consumed by fungus, or that I've seen at least.
Give me a nature roll.
Ooh, that's pretty good. Let's see. 18.
18. This does not seem like something that would be possible, not time span either, to happen like this.
Yep.
Like maybe it could grow on it in over a long period of time potentially, but like there is no flesh here, no anything that you're noticing. It's just like,
yeah, it's like
almost like a melted person that is now just mushrooms now.
Okay. Yeah, I would kind of just be staring at it and say, this isn't normal. Like this doesn't happen like this.
Edison,
Are we saying this
pokes
was the
around.
girl and now it's mushrooms, or
Let's just take
the girl got moved and the hags left these things or grew them here as a way to mock us or mock whoever?
Edison is crouching down with the dagger and he's like poking through the mushrooms a little bit. Yeah, there's no bone here. I saw her corpse. I saw her be buried here. I was part of that whole process.
Well, I saw Maribel be buried too.
And the sigils are still active on these things?
They all appear to be.
Well, is the sigil for undead or specifically? Because if it's just specifically for undead,
It is
Oh, I'd
intended
say
for
undead.
undead. Yes.
magic could be worked around with other things, whatever that is they're trying to do.
Especially if it's more powerful than just a sigil. Like, I feel like hags could get around a lot of stuff, couldn't they? What about the parents?
I was wondering that too. Is it just the child?
Yeah.
This is going a little outside of my permissions, but you know, things need to get done. And he starts to push one of the stones out of the way. He'll pick Catherine to start looking into.
Okay.
I think that's wise, yeah.
While he's doing that, Dav vamps out Micum, plucks a feather, and he just looks really sad, and he leaves it where the girl's body would be, and then
I'll remind you about the
Bam,
feather
away.
interaction, but
yep, it's just his little
okay.
thing, but
It's momentarily
knows it's
there,
happening.
and then it dissipates.
Yep.
But
While they're kind of looking at or starting on the other body, I'd take out not my death notebook, but like my other like sketchbook thing, and I would just like be drawing what that looks like exactly, like the body, because I want it like fresh in my memory so I can recall it better later. So I don't even like apologize for not helping. Like I'm just like very committed to like detail of this one. So I take some time to do a pretty accurate one.
Euphemia, give me a perception check as you look at this body of Holly.
Oh no, that's not good. That's 7.
7? Okay.
Yeah.
If anybody else is looking, you also can roll that
I'll
as
look.
well.
Yeah, I mean I'm drawing
Yeah.
them, so
I honestly would be studying it pretty intensely because I am curious about this.
15.
Like, kind of
16.
16 and 15? Okay.
Yeah.
So the longer you like look at it and are kind of staring at this mess of mushrooms. Oh, look at that. I didn't even mark my other blessing down. I forgot I had that.
Oops.
So I'm gonna go with the mishap level.
Oops.
And then we have a raised mishap level too. Perfect. Ah, that really
Hey.
shot up fast.
Oh my gosh.
Oh boy. That's perfect.
So, as you three are just kind of standing there, while Edison's working on the other grave of Catherine. You're just staring at it a little more. And Winnie, you start to, like, almost like there's a moment you're kind of tilting your head and looking, and there's a specific pattern of the mushrooms that are on, like, what looks like the head spot. And it almost looks like the pattern on one of those small mushrooms, like, there's multiple of them. It looks like the pattern almost looks vaguely in the shape of a nose. And then off to the side, there's almost looks like the pattern of the shape of like an ear and some hair, like lines almost through the design of the mushrooms. And the spots where the hands are almost look like they are like fingernails on certain points of them.
I will point out to Eleanor and be like, do you see that? Like, did she?
Do I notice,
into
especially as I'm
mushroom?
like sketching it?
Yeah,
I'd
now
be
that she's pointing that
looking
out
too.
too, you start to notice it now that she points that out.
Can I
I wish I-
investigate it a little more closely, like, and just see?
Yeah, you can get
Yeah,
down
me as well.
close to it. What are you looking for specifically?
I think I would be looking for if it is just like indicative of, or is it like almost like it. How do I even say this?
It's turned
like if
into
it's
kind of thing.
well, yeah, almost like if it's like a photo of, you know what I. Do you know what I mean? Like if it seems like the body was disturbed and moved and replaced, or if it just turned. Like I don't even know how that would.
An imprint or?
As you as a group kind of look at this closer with the roles that you have, it does almost give you the vibe that the mushrooms have grown out and have still a vague maybe imprint of prior to its growth's appearance that is still visible.
Kind of seems like it transformed.
Well, if they can potentially take us places, I don't think taking a body, maybe replacing it with something else. I don't know. Maybe when they take, I don't know. If they take
Or
it, then maybe it's
Turn the body into the mushrooms. Is that what you're saying?
it
Yeah.
could be too.
Why?
That or the mushrooms grew out of the imprint of like something about where she was made the mushrooms grow when she was taken, or it could be that she was the mushrooms.
Well, Holly was also sick, from what I remember.
Edison will nod as he's like overhearing what you're talking about.
I was like waiting for him. And so was Maribel, and I can't help but think that they chose them before anything bad happened.
Sounds like they may have been marked for years beforehand.
Well, it seems
least
like
that's
it. If the mental state was also declining at the same time, it's connected, wasn't it? At least with Maribel,
Close.
the sickness and the mental sickness was together.
Edison.
Maybe this is.
Go ahead.
Oh, just maybe this is some kind of weird after effect of what made them sick. I mean, that's why I think my mom should get tested for some kind of infection or something.
Yeah.
Listen, do you know how hags come to be?
From my research, they have a strong connection to the Nightmare Realm, and their kind was a nightmarish creation of the former deity Calanthros. but I mean, his creation has sent them out into the world. And now they exist on their own.
So they don't.
Do they make
can't-
more hags?
Yes,
So
they
nice.
can
They
make
make
more
more?
hags. Yes.
Do you
Through
think
mushrooms?
right. Is that what they did here?
Are you asking if that girl is a hag?
Is
Or
it a
they
possibility?
marked
Is
her.
that something they do? Yeah.
Or like raise her to be one? I mean, not that it would be her fault at all. It would just be she was like chosen or something.
A vessel
What you
that
saying?
they turn
She's
into.
a hag.
yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying she's a hag, but they wanted
It
her
was
to
just
be
cute
one.
that she prefaced. It's not her fault.
Not her fault. Like,
Jeez.
she's just a kid.
I mean, this whole thing is just, I don't understand why. Why, unless you're just going to randomly choose someone to give nightmares and kill, why? Why make someone sick? Why go through this trouble to torture them and then do it all over again?
So it's ceremonial for some, if there's something involving like certain kind of sacrifices or things that need to happen, it might be part of like a process.
I do not
To get-
believe that there is a mushroom transfer or transformation that happens to make a hag. I am not completely versed in all things hags at this point. We can definitely do more research, especially into what we just saw in that coffin.
Sorry.
But hags oftentimes are known for targeting children and spreading chaos and horror. They delight in it. And it doesn't always make sense. It doesn't always mean there is a solid end goal to acquire wealth or anything. Sometimes it's just for the pure amusement of torturing others.
They have seemed to enjoy it, so that does check out.
But
Is
there
it
may also be
possible-
an intention behind it.
It could be both, certainly.
Is it possible, if this is some kind of coven and they're repeating, are they planning something where they're getting some sort of benefit from this, some sort of power from consuming them?
It is possible.
While we're talking, can I be helping him with the other grave?
Yeah.
So I'm curious what's in there.
Yep. So yeah, he's been working this whole time too to get it cleared off, and it doesn't take super long, but eventually you do get that cleared off, and he'll pry that open as well. No cloud of mushrooms. It just looks like the corpse of this woman.
Oh, just the child, potentially.
Yeah.
cool.
Okay. All right. Good to know.
Shall we finish this?
I'll help him. Help him
And-
seal it back up, I guess.
Yeah. Seal it back up, and then he goes over to the third one.
Might as
Of
well
Benjamin.
check.
I'll help him with that one too.
And slide the stone off, dig down a little bit, clear off the top of the casket, pry it open. Same thing, it's a body. No mushrooms.
Okay.
6 years is the same, but it happens different stretches of time.
Yes, this is all things we'll have to look into.
Is there anything in common of the night that these murders happen, like a full moon or like a portion of the year that hits? I don't know.
Well, it wasn't the same date.
It was not the same
Yeah.
date.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how a flat realm gets certain seasons and stuff. Is there some sort of, what am I trying to think of? I'm blanking out, but yeah.
A celestial event or something like that?
Right, that kind of thing.
Seasonal
yeah.
or celestial event?
There is a time progression of each month as various changes in the season as it goes through the year.
Yeah, but nothing that's
consistent.
aligned with this, right?
Not that I'm aware of. We can do some further research.
Yeah, we have to look into some of that later. Like, see through lines.
Any significance with the Nightmare World, yeah.
And in general, I think, especially since the Shudder, I mean, there has been an attraction of people operating for nefarious purposes.
It's true.
Because of
First two,
the nature of this world.
right? The first two were prior.
Yes, but even more so, I think, now.
The convergence of arcane energies, yeah.
Yes. And, I mean, you even have the Sepulchre, you have these people operating.
You have the blind eye of no one watching you. In this
Oh, in this,
instance, at
yes.
least.
Yes.
Wouldn't that mean Calanthros also can't? I mean, or the Nightmare Realm might not have access now.
I'm not sure.
Bean
you'd
somehow
think.
got here.
Oh.
Well, we were transported because of that magic, so it transcended something. Their magic.
I feel like can we get out of here? I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel really weird being in here. I don't like this.
Agree.
What do we want to do with the mushrooms? Do we leave them? Do we get rid of them?
I say we destroy them.
I think so too.
Send under your authorization.
Yes.
Good.
So, Edison,
I complete my sketch, make sure it's really accurate.
Edison will take some notes real quick before everything, but then he'll grab a torch and hold it out for Dav or Eleanor or whoever else is lighter to light it up.
I'll light it with.
You're
I
lighting
don't
it
know.
Mm-hmm.
with
Eleanor,
your
are you
spell,
fe-
or
Oh,
Mhm.
I don't know. I like to try to flick the lighter before she does it because I can
Okay.
feel the static in the back of my neck.
You can go.
We don't wanna make-
Yeah, I mean, you can.
I would not do anything risky.
I don't want to do it here.
No,
I
not
just
here.
hold your put your hand down and I just flick the lighter.
okay.
She's not even thinking about it right now because so many things have happened. She's
know what?
very preoccupied.
Give me an initiative roll.
Oh boy.
Eleanor versus Euphemia. Let's see what happens.
It's like she's got so many other things she's thinking about right now.
What'd you get?
8.
It's 3.
All right.
All right.
Just before you can reach out to get the lighter out, she gets her spell up.
Just sigh.
Big sigh.
Sorry.
No mishap. Amazingly.
Hey!
The odds of that were
Yay!
incredibly slim, but there's no mishap.
Yes.
Also means that it goes higher.
Definitely poke
Yep.
that hornet's nest a
Ooh.
little bit.
Yeah.
Live a little.
It's all right. We all know this one's meant for Dav. It's gonna be traumatic.
Tim lowers the mishap level.
There we go. How kind.
Thank you. Love it. Love it.
Look at that.
I'll say it barely went down. So,
Oh.
Well,
but light up the torch And he'll go in and he'll start to burn away the mushrooms and just like put it in various spots to and embrace it right back up. Very nice.
Chaos reigns. Chaos reigns today.
Yep.
Love it. Let's go.
Checks out.
Okay. But yeah, he'll go through and just start burning away various portions of the mushrooms, and they begin to dissipate. The clothing lights up too, because that was still there. But all of it begins to burn away, and the guards, they kind of like, hey, what are you doing? Just like official business. And they step back for now, but they're moved in a little closer.
Of course.
Biological arcane toxin under control.
But eventually the mushrooms burn away. Everything burns away. It's just like a smoldering, smoky... It fills the chamber, unfortunately, which you guys are underground. There's not too much place for the air to go.
Not great.
But once it looks like it's officially gone, he'll take the top of the casket and nail it back into place. Like once it's out, and put some water on it to make sure it doesn't burn the casket or something. You can nail the casket top back in place and put the dirt back on top and slide the last stone back into place so it looks like it was prior to it. There we go. All right. Anything else we need to do, you think, down here?
I'm just leaving a dried flower on each one of them.
Okay.
I can't think of anything unless there's anything we haven't checked, but I think we were rather thorough.
Is there anything you wanted us to look at? I know you're investigating this.
I think we found out something that will lead us to more answers. Okay.
Yes.
Shall we go? And he like looks back at the guards who are standing down the hallway from you. All right. So they'll start turning and walking towards the guards. At which point, the guards come forward. All right, now that your official business is over, now it's ours. And they look right at you, Eleonora. You.
Just give like a strained smile. Like,
You need to come with us.
and that reason being,
I think you know why.
I would love it if you enlighten me.
Let's go. And they kind of go over to start grabbing onto your arms, like they start approaching. There's a moment that Edison looks at you and just says, "You want out?"
I just nod. I like don't want anything to do with this.
I would
Yeah.
have been kind of stepping towards Eleonora also, trying to like step in front for a second.
Reach out to Winnie for the shield. I'll take an action to kind of spring it back.
Edison just says, "We're going." Just says to all of you,
Okay.
"Hats
This
back
happens.
on."
Oh my!
Here we go.
See, I was trying to dispel it before that. That was part of the reason.
Here we go.
I was gonna take the hit on that one.
There is
Oh, well.
definitely a mishap on
Oh
this one.
no! Oh no!
We
The place is
all turn
so-
to stone as they carry us off back to the prison.
The big
I
question
tried.
is, will this work? Let's roll
I
and see if
know.
this spell
That's
works.
It's gonna be lovely. Uh-oh.
Okay. So, you guys watch as he kind of like puts his arms out, and you feel that like energy begin to pull you away. And as you do, butterflies begin to spurt out from the ground and all around you as you guys feel a mishap happen. And just like butterflies are flying around, and there's flower petals that are fluttering and falling to the ground as you guys out of there.
Yay!
Yay!
And left a very pretty
Leave.
And
It's like a Disney. It's like a Disney movie.
the two guards are like lunging in your direction, but there's nothing for them to grab as you guys are out of there.
I can imagine the shapes of just leaves and butterflies and just disappearing.
Oh, that's amazing! Wow.
And you
It's like a pretty trick.
guys find yourself standing in front of the entrance to the Watchlight in Heaven's Reach.
Nice.
We made it.
We did it.
And that's where we're going to end tonight's session, right there.
Yay!
So, my goodness, that was definitely a risk there for mishap potential.
Is this a record 3 cities in an episode?
Yeah,
I know.
I mean,
You've never
we're-
traveled
We can
so
teleport,
fast
we
before.
can-
We're taking
Man, I
that.
miss-
That's happening.
Yeah.
I
Let's
miss
see here.
Karis's teleporting. That was so nice.
That was so nice. Yes, I miss it a lot.
That is all his charges for the day, though. So you're not going anywhere else
Oh
today.
my gosh.
We're
Thanks.
stuck
We'd
here
like to
now.
officially invite you to the Horde Hunter.
Yeah.
But-
Please stay with us
Please.
forever.
Thank you for everyone who watched and enjoyed this. Thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for all the raids and follows that happened. We appreciate you so much. We're going to sign off on a recording, and then we're going to go raid somebody. But we really do appreciate you for coming and hanging out. If anybody's still around, join our Discord. But my goodness, I cannot spell to save my life. I spell it right? I think so.
There you go.
But yeah, we're going to stop the recording. So thank you for watching. Appreciate y'all. Bye, everybody.